Oh man, what's going on, guys? Cheers.
Cheers.
So I can I know we were talking about like memory and stuff earlier, and believe it or not, you are not the worst memory that has been on this podcast. Our buddy Luker that was on here, like what? He's been here 2 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
He remembers nothing.
Oh,
like
man.
It's bad. Like you're saying every day is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
His is like every hour is a new hour.
Oh.
Like, it's so ridiculous, man.
Now, would you rather have short term or long term when it comes to memory? Like, say you had a good time yesterday, you don't really remember it, but like you can remember things like way back, like from your childhood versus like vice versa.
Short term.
Yeah.
I think short term.
I think short term's the way for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. What's going on, Robert, man? Cheers again.
Yeah,
it's good to have you here, man.
Short-term memories overrated.
Yeah. Who wants to really remember things?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of got caught up in this like living in the moment. I don't know. It was really like the last like 3 years. I think I've talked about it on here before, but like living in the moment so much that I just like forget everything.
Like, it was like
bad. No, I enjoy everything in the moment, but I like if I look back on it, I can't like tell you what happened a week ago. Like, we had such a good time a week ago, and then I had a good time. I knew I had a good time, but
you think the alcohol has something to do with it?
Maybe, but even like whenever I don't drink at all on those moments, like I can't remember. Like I can think back to like a concert or something. I'm like, I know I had a very fun time, but I can't remember like every little detail like I used to be able to. But then that's starting to come back more now. I don't know what's changed about the way I think, or like I don't know what's different now because I'm starting to remember. Like my memory's gotten a lot better in the last month. Like I'm remembering everything, and it's like so vivid lately. I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna play the age card for memory.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
That's what I blame it on.
That's fair. How old are you?
52.
52.
Okay. I just turned 30 last year.
Nice.
So I think we can say you're the oldest guest we've had on here.
Oh, jeez.
But I will say the coolest guest.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of those like metal shows and shows we've been to, I feel like I remember like flashes of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's hard to remember all of it, but half the time I'm, 10 IPAs in before we even get in there. Getting in the mosh pits.
We went to one concert. I think I was, 16, 17, and Shawn and Heather picked me up. That's Shawn's wife now. I'm about to say fiance. But Shawn's wife, and they picked me up from school. And so we go to a Killswitch concert at the Orange Peel. And then we're there, and I'm like, Shawn is like getting kind of drunk right now. And so he goes to the bar, and he gets 2 IPAs. They're tall boys, like 20-ounce IPAs.
Yeah.
He comes back, and he's drinking them, he's drinking them. And then every time, like he's already broke the seal. So he's peeing every 20 minutes.
Dude,
and every time he goes and pees, he's getting 2 more. And I'm like, oh, my God, he is going off the chain.
I don't know what I planned on doing because I had planned on driving back, but that was obviously not happening.
Yeah.
And so this was like right after Prince had died too. So the whole time during the show, every break they're playing Prince. Like during in between bands switching up, they're playing Prince, and he's dancing in the crowd like he is so gone. And it's like the third band, like the second band that's played. It's like, oh my God.
But I had a fucking blast.
That's awesome.
I had a fucking blast, dude. Our buddy Brett, shout out Brett. Met us in the pit, man. One of the guys we didn't even know it was coming. We
didn't know. Yeah, it was him. I'm about to say Danny
I
Carey.
think we did know.
Stephen Carey.
Yeah,
I'm about to say Danny Carey from Tool.
What's some of the?
And then it was what Alex, and
Steven. Yeah.
And Stephen
Lovely.
Stephen Lovely. Okay, I kept saying Stephen
Shout out
Love, but
those
that's another
guys.
guy I used to work with.
So tell me about some of the festivals you went to back in the day.
Oh, jeez. See, my memory fades on some of them as to where I saw which band, what venue.
Yeah.
Or what year. Ones that I've seen multiple times. So, oh, gosh. I would say, I think my favorite festival would have been Gigantor. Megadeth and Dream Theater.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're a big Dream Theater fan, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was Boba Fleck.
Boba Fleck.
I don't think I know Boba Fleck.
Oh, gosh. Drawing a blank on these
Related
names.
to Ben.
Megadeth was... Seeing them live was so cool, man.
Megadeth was killer, man. They were so all these other bands, gosh, I can't remember. What was that show that Joe Rogan used to be in? That
Fear Factor? Fear Factor.
Yeah, so Fear Factory. They were there.
Oh, okay.
That's how I had to get there. See, I don't remember who all was there, but it was fantastic. But Dream Theater played second to last. Megadeth played last.
Oh,
and
gosh, dude.
Megadeth, they brought their stage out on a forklift, set it down at the front. We were in the Gwinnett Civic Center, and they brought out like 2 stages,
Right.
almost like a drum riser. It had chain link fence all the way around it, and they played, I swear, on a stage that's smaller than this room. And they
man.
just kicked ass. It was so good.
I can imagine, man. We saw Megadeth with Trivium at Bon Secours, right?
Yeah, and In Flames. And
In Flames and
Lamb of God.
It was Lamb of God. Yeah, so that was like a stacked lineup, man. I don't know if you've listened to Trivium. They're a little more screamo, but
Yeah. But yeah,
Not
I
really
can tolerate a little screamo.
well, I don't like to call it screamo, but yeah,
Right.
it's more
It's
screaming. than-
modern metal.
It's
in a way.
metalcore.
But yeah, it's metalcore, but like they really hold true to some of those like kind of thrash roots
For
and kind
sure.
of some of those like older style of metal, very melodic at
Yeah,
times.
Megadeth, man. Dave Mustaine hasn't lost anything.
No.
He hasn't
So
lost
good.
anything.
Yeah, he's
No.
so good.
Like I fully expect him to be great, and it was.
And it's a wonder he still is a musician.
Oh my
He's so
god,
picky.
dude! And he just had like lung cancer,
Yeah.
and he's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out here and
Yeah, I'm going to beat this.
blow the freaking socks off
I
everybody.
think he just got his black belt in jiu-jitsu too.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
saw that, yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Then another festival, another Dream Theater one, saw a bunch of bands in Asheville, and Zappa plays Zappa.
Oh man.
Dweezil.
Blew the doors off.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time Dream Theater came on, I was like,
Nice,
That's
nice.
That's impressive then.
yeah,
Because I feel like Dream Theater would put on like a very theatrical, like a
they do.
dramatic show.
Yeah.
You know.
So when they're the headliner like that, their equipment will be the entire stage, and everybody else is like right here on the edge.
Yeah.
And they just keep taking them away, and then Dream Theater's already set up. But it was good. It was Spock's beard was there. And,
Spock's beard.
Yeah, it was-
That's some progressive metal
it was
shit.
all-
Progressive
it was
rock
all
shit. I could
What
never
got
heard
you into
of.
progressive music? Because I feel like a lot of people, even like metal fans or like rock and roll fans, like some people just can't get into progressive music. I love it, but I'm very picky about mine.
See, that would be my favorite genre. Would be, prog rock or prog metal.
Right.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this on the way here. So I have
Oh,
4
man,
older sisters.
talking about forgetting. I was like, what did he say? Oh,
Did we
shit.
sleep since then?
Yeah.
So I have 4 older sisters, ranged 7 to 14 years older than me. And so when I was at home when I was a kid, this is in the 70s,
Yeah.
they'd bring home friends or boyfriends or girlfriends and then husbands, whatever. And they all would, this was the vinyl days and 8-track days. And, you'd listen to vinyl at the house and 8 tracks on the way, going somewhere. So they were the ones that influenced me into music. And one brother-in-law in particular got me into Jethro Tull. He was a prog guy, Stephen, and a folk guy. And so at the same time getting into Jethro Tull, it got me into Arlo Guthrie.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool. That's a strange combination.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my brother-in-law Chuck got me into Hendrix, and just different ones. A couple
Right.
of sisters' boyfriends got me like Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Grand
Yeah,
Funk
so,
Railroad.
just the whole gambit. But Prague was just, I just got it. Prague
Yeah.
was just-
Right.
That was just
It's,
it.
it's definitely
It's
different,
just
too.
mine.
It's different too.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's like there's it's like off time, like these off time beats
Right,
and these
yeah.
off time rhythms and like in a
It's
way
like everyone playing lead.
yes, yes.
Everybody's playing
And
lead.
it's
And changing it.
sometimes like you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
listen to a song that's technically proficient, but it just doesn't sound like it doesn't sound great with sometimes with progressive
Right.
rock. It's interesting, and then sometimes it just hits. Like
Ah,
it just
man,
hits,
yeah.
and it just
Right.
it's kind of weird how you could tell that line. Like there's some
Yes.
Rush songs I just can't really get into, and then like there's some of them that are just like they hit.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Dad and I were on the way home today, and YYZ came on. I was telling you that earlier. And man, I hadn't heard that song. I just forgot it existed. Yeah, and I was like, when it came on, I think I was like asleep, and it came on, and I woke up, and I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about this song. This is amazing. Like, I need to go back and listen to more Rush. But yeah, I think I can pretty fairly say that you have the most music knowledge of probably anybody that I know. But I have some ideas of what your like favorite band would be, but I honestly don't think I could like confidently answer it. So, what is your favorite band?
I don't have a favorite band.
Okay.
Today it might be one. Tomorrow it might be something else. Kind of goes with the mood that you're in.
Okay.
Or the era that you're in your life. But,
So, like, if I had to make a list for that, I would say, like, obviously Dream Theater and Rush and Jethro Tull.
they're in it. Alice
But, like,
Cooper's in it.
Yeah, Alice
Hendrix
Cooper's
is
got to
it.
be in there. But then I think of, like, some of the Southern rock stuff that you listen to, like
Oh,
the Black
gosh,
Crowes
right.
and Leonard Skinner, man. It's like, it's such a wide variety of rock and roll.
Yeah.
But a wide variety,
Right.
like, the widest variety.
Well, see, I was born outside of Pittsburgh, PA. And that's very, this is back when everyone listened to the radio, of course. And they still have a lot of real rock stations, and they also have metal stations. We don't have that here. So, or maybe it's just the times.
Right.
But I just was, you turn on the radio, and it was, I guess it was just the times, because it's Zeppelin, and,
Right.
the Doors, and, just everybody on the radio. It's just so, I don't listen to radio now. There's just no reason to.
Yeah, there's really not.
No, the only thing they're playing that's good, came out 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So.
The only station that I can go to and like leave it on there is Rock 101.
104.9 is not bad.
104.9, I think that, did it end up, I think
It might have changed. Yeah, you
Yeah.
might be right. It used to be good. I don't know. I haven't listened to
it
the radio in
used to
so
be good.
long that.
Yeah.
But it's because it sucks.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about it on the way here.
Yeah.
You said that you were you were riding a new truck or a different truck that you normally drive.
Yeah, it didn't have Bluetooth.
Yeah, and it have Bluetooth. He's like, right?
Yuppie problem. Says listen to the radio.
Oh God, like poor people.
Yeah.
In 101.
That's
I made
okay,
it,
man. I don't have Bluetooth in my car either.
Yeah.
It's a work truck. I got Bluetooth.
He
Can't
puts
complain.
earbuds in.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so,
So Pittsburgh, it's kind of where I got my roots, and moved from there to the South when I was 13. And I don't know, it was just different there. But I guess, like I said, it was the times, because moved to the South in 84. So, it was right there where we make the transition into where hair metal was starting,
oh man,
Where do you sit with hair metal?
Oh, I like it.
Really? Okay.
We were talking about Dawkins on the way
guitarists
here.
are so good.
Yeah.
I
The
feel like
guitarists are
the
so
prog
good.
rock guys and the hair metal guys didn't mix. I always
think
felt that way.
I think it had to do with moving. So I moved from a place like again, not Pittsburgh, but outside
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
I can follow
Moved from
this.
there to Myrtle Beach.
Party City.
Yes.
Oh, hair
And-
metal city.
Yeah.
And it
Hair
was
metal's
hair
party
metal.
bands,
It was hair metal, reggae, and the Grateful Dead.
Oh
I
man,
can see
okay,
that.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
by the beach, man.
Yeah,
Let's
everywhere
have a
you
good
went, yeah,
time.
that's
man.
right.
Even when you go to Myrtle Beach now, if you go to like Boardwalk, there's still guys still playing reggae. Like on the,
Yeah.
they're always on the boardwalk playing
Yeah.
reggae. There's like always bands at these little shops and plazas and stuff. It's cool.
I saw something the other day. It was says South Park finally put out an episode about Myrtle Beach. Thought it was pretty cool.
Do they actually, or was it like
I
a
think,
meme?
I think they
Or were
did.
just
Yeah,
making fun of it.
I don't
That's
know.
funny.
I think they were like obviously South Park. They're going to.
Oh yeah, I mean, but
trolling,
like, were they making fun of South Park or making fun of Myrtle Beach?
Myrtle Beach, I believe. Yeah, I don't know.
I got you.
It's pretty dirty.
No, they were making fun of
Yeah, it is dirty.
South Park was making fun of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay, yeah.
It was cool though. Like, when I lived there in high school in the, mid 80s, bands would come and play in the wintertime when they weren't necessarily touring anywhere at just a local nightclub, bar, whatever you call it, for like $10. You know?
Right.
Of course, underage, so you had to pay a little extra to get a bracelet, so you couldn't drink.
Of course, yeah. Couldn't drink, you just take the bracelet off.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
we
They
did
really
plenty of
cared.
times.
I saw Blue Oyster Cult like 8 times.
Damn. Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't
I
remember.
remember
who
like
all I saw.
maybe like the first 2 years that Gabby and I dated, and I'm talking to him about music, and we're talking about Rush, I think. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to see Rush. And he's like, oh yeah, I've seen him like 8 times. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Rush is one of those bands I just can't get into.
It's
I want to
Geddy-
love
it's Geddy
them.
Lee's voice.
I just don't know what it is. Like, yeah, like
They're also like so tight to the point where it's like annoying. Like
Yeah.
everything is perfect.
Well, they're like,
but there's other
like
bands.
perfect.
theater.
Yeah, they're perfect.
They just piss you off because they're so
Yeah,
good.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
There are other people like that, but I kind of like my more like my prog, like progressive. I like that more in metal than I like it in rock and roll.
That's
believe.
I could you definitely like
Yeah.
Macedon or I don't want to say Death Heaven, but they are a little progressive.
Yeah, they
in a
are,
way.
for
I mean,
sure.
they're very
They
like
are.
glam.
And I mean Tool. I mean they're
Yeah,
prog
Tool for
rock,
sure, Tool.
but they're more.
And
I feel like they're a
Primus.
little more metal than rock.
Primus
personally.
is,
Yeah.
Primus, man.
Primus.
I never would have listened to Primus if it wasn't for you. And it's and I've seen him live twice now. We're going to see Les Claypool and
Yes, we are.
That's
That's going to be fun.
It was one of those bands for a long time for
a
me.
few months. It's May.
It's May. I don't know, man. I don't. It was a few. Yesterday it was or 2 days ago.
Well,
it was a
when I
few
got
months.
the tickets, it was months ago. Yeah.
Yesterday it was a few months.
Yeah, Primus was one of those bands where I felt like I needed to listen to them my whole life. Like, yeah, you
Right.
just know, like this
Oh,
band is
man.
probably going. I'm probably gonna like them when I finally do. I was like, I love everything.
It's like
all their
Tenacious
stuff.
D. I love this band.
Yeah.
He was having the dream in the car.
You ever seen that? Tenacious
You never
D?
seen Tenacious D?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I was like,
this. I was gonna say, dude, I got a movie for you.
Yeah.
I, don't know, I was like,
have,
maybe
yeah.
he wasn't listening or he just hasn't actually seen it. I was like, holy shit.
I check out all their stuff. They were
Yeah, Jack
funny
Black.
too. Jack
So-
Black can do anything.
We had Travis on here last week, and he was talking about how he doesn't like Jack Black. But man, when we were in Austria,
Jack Black.
so this conversation got brought up in Austria with our bartender, and the bartender was there like every day of the week. So of course we got to know him pretty well. And dude's like 23,
Yeah.
but a pretty like very talented guy with it. He's like Tom Cruise and the bartender, you know.
Yeah. I have much respect for bartenders.
Yeah, he's very good. And so, Travis says, "Oh, I don't like Jack Black," and our bartender is like serving somebody. He stops and goes, "I'm going to address that in a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to address that here in a second." And he comes over and he's like, and then Travis is like, "I only like one movie by Jack Black," and the dude goes, "Let me guess, School of Rock." I'm like, "That's a fucking
That's
great."
the
That
one-
was
that's
my
the
guess.
answer. Yeah.
And he
That's
goes,
the
"No, Envy," and I'm like,
Envy's so bad. So bad.
"We're shitting on Travis right now. That's okay."
That's okay, man.
But yeah, and I was like, and even our bartender, me and him sat there talking about Jack Black for like an hour.
Which he said it was a bad movie too. So he knew.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I mean, I love
Jack
some
Black is
bad movies.
hilarious.
Yeah, I really love him in School of Rock. I think School of Rock's one of those movies that like
It's a top 10
It's a
of mine.
must see.
It's a top
Yes, definitely.
Especially for like I feel like
Robert
children.
Plant, Jimmy Page, getting the
Yeah.
lead out. Come
at
on,
any age
man.
from like 5 on. It's like you can learn a lot about rock and roll
Mm-hmm.
as a toddler, teenager, pre-adult, adult.
Well, I'm even influenced in that movie because, like, teaching karate, I'm influenced in that way of like being a teacher that genuinely cares. You see that so many times with like teachers that are just there just to get I don't say a paycheck because teachers are not paid the most, but like teachers just there and they're annoyed, like it's obnoxious to them to teach. Like they're annoyed by all the students and everything. It's like, why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand how you don't like go out there and like love it and have passion to teach these kids.
Yeah, he genuinely cared.
Right, and I
Yeah.
get a lot of influence from that.
I'm seeing a lot more homeschooling now than I've ever seen. Like everybody on my Facebook and like Instagram timelines are homeschooling. What do you feel about homeschooling?
I don't have a problem with it if you're not cutting corners.
Right.
You're still talking about your child's
Yeah.
education. So
Yeah.
I'm all about education. So
Right.
For
Yeah.
sure.
If you're doing it just to make your life easier, so you don't have to.
Right. Yeah. Definitely
Yeah.
can't do it for selfish reasons.
I can
No.
definitely see that.
If
being
you're
a
doing it
problem,
for your
too.
kids and it's legitimate,
Because some people get lazy and they want to not take their kids to school. They just,
Right.
we'll just do it here, and then they
Yeah.
just,
yeah, it's
lazy
only going to take
tendencies are
2
gonna
hours.
stack.
Yeah, here, go do your stuff.
Oh gosh.
God,
No,
can you
I'm
imagine?
against that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, I've always been like torn against like if I were to have children, if I were to homeschool them or public school. I don't really know. I don't have a clue.
I am leaning more towards
I lean more towards homeschool.
homeschool these days.
but I don't
and I was
know.
never that guy.
I know.
right.
Never that
I
guy.
had a great time in public school. I mean, I feel like I learned a lot as far as like social skills and how to interact with people is such a hard thing to grasp, especially like you look at some of the, I don't want to say like people that like struggle with social skills in school or like less popular people or whatever, but you look at some of those people and they like really struggle now even more. And it's like it's like a detriment to like them doing anything like an interview or, getting along in the workplace, especially, being a blue collar worker. Or brew collar worker, I should say. You have you're gonna get roasted. You're gonna get your balls busted. Like it's inevitable. And it's like you were saying, that guy tried to scare you at work the other day. It's like your
Right.
experience. Like if you don't have those social skills, you're not going to be ready for that kind of thing. It's
Right.
gonna like completely be like, oh, and it's gonna make you feel so awkward and uncomfortable. And they're gonna laugh and like
So what
how do
happened
you
at work the
react
other day?
in that situation?
Oh, so I'm a project manager, building houses.
Nice.
So roll up to one of my lake homes, and my assistant walked into the garage before I must have been on the phone or something before I got down in there, and my 2 cabinet guys were at the house already. It's who I went to go meet. And I walk in. I'd have to play you the video because it's really funnier to watch it. And my assistant goes, "We have a problem here." And I just didn't trust him, so he just gave it away. And he's looking at this box that a wooden hood to go over a cooktop was in. And I just knew. I was like, Austin's in there, my cabinet guy. The reason I knew is the hood was already installed in the kitchen, so I knew there was an empty box. But this is what guys your age are trying to pull on a guy my age.
Right. Exactly.
It's making a lot of sense.
So I go up to the box like I don't know what I'm doing, you know? Like, oh, what's wrong? And I kick the shit out of the box. Then I grab it. I go to dump it over sideways, and my assistant's like, oh, crap. He's trying to get Austin out, and Austin crawls out underneath it. You're like, damn.
That's that experience.
Yeah, they're like, how'd you know? I'm like, you guys gave it away.
It's like, I've done this. I've been here. Who me? I've been here.
There's stuff that, like, at an early age, you just can't possibly know that, like, because the experience of an older guy, you're just going to have that over you. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like when, like, a kid is like, yeah, I brushed my teeth, but it was breast things.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
no, you didn't. Like, stop lying.
Yeah, I
Like,
can smell you from here.
yeah.
So, for the first time in my life, maybe for like the last 2 months, I've been brushing my teeth at night and day, and it's something I've always brushed my teeth in the morning. That was it.
Take care of those teeth.
So I've been brushing them at night and day, and I'm actually starting to like
See a difference?
notice
Yes.
like a whiteness difference, and I'm like now I'm becoming like addicted a little bit.
Yes,
I'm
I
like,
do it every
dude,
time.
I was like, this is insane. I was like, my teeth actually are starting to look the best they've ever looked.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, this
Night
is
and
awesome.
day, man. I've done that for, since 10 years now.
I've always pointed it out whenever we're drinking. I'm like, damn, your teeth are white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
don't feel
I really
they're that
pointed it
white,
out.
But, no, I'm just like, hold on. That's right here.
So if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you stare at Sean's teeth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the lips close.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I started doing. I'm like, I'm noticing a difference, and it's like, it's so satisfying.
I can't
man.
not do it.
It's just so satisfying, and especially because like all the beer we drink.
Yeah. They're not
Like,
fuzzy
like
anymore.
if I brush my teeth, yeah, you got sweaters on your teeth. Who says that?
Betsy, shout out
Betsy.
Betsy. Our friend Betsy always says, "Oh, I got sweaters on my teeth." The little like dingy
Yeah.
whatever you've been ate throughout the day.
It's like if I brush my teeth at night before bed, my breath still smells like shit in the morning.
Oh.
So I'm like, I could imagine what it's like whenever I don't do it. Oh my gosh.
Total ass.
Yeah, just straight ass. Oh my gosh.
But going back to like some of those bands you like, kind of grew up on, what was some of the coolest shows you've been to?
Oh, jeez.
Like 1,000 concerts
Yeah.
just went through his head.
Yeah. Got to brag on Jethro Tull for a minute. Saw him one time in Atlanta. Oh, downtown Atlanta. What was that place called? It's an old venue.
Is it a Tabernacle? No, what is
The
it?
Tabernacle was in Atlanta.
There's a
but-
Masquerade, but that's more metal.
I can't remember the name of it. It's an old building. Kind of like the Peace Center in Greenville.
Yeah.
Kind of style, but older. Anyway, he had knee surgery before, during this tour. And they had him in an electric wheelchair that apparently someone was controlling. So you may not have ever seen Jethro Tull, but Ian Anderson, the whole band, flutist and everything, he's always running all over the place. It's just complete high energy.
Yeah.
Up on stuff and running,
Right.
and, everything else. Whoever's controlling his wheelchair was still pulling all this stuff off. He's like, over here and up here and here and here. It was just crazy. That blew my mind. And it was that just to see that was amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's just so many different concerts. Another time, they ended up at the Peace Center in Greenville, of all places. 25 minutes from home.
Never been to the Peace Center.
Me neither.
Here's nice,
Me
though.
neither.
There's not a bad seat in there.
Really?
Yeah. Austin and I went to go see Government Mule there.
Oh man,
Government
I
Mule's
really
good.
wanted to see them.
Government
Yeah.
Mule is
I've
fantastic.
really wanted
Jam
to see
band.
them for a long time.
Any concert at the Peace Center
Yeah.
is going to be great. It is just the perfect venue for music.
Yeah.
Man, that Bourbon and Beyond festival.
Oh, that was a
So-
good. That one sticks in my mind.
So that Friday night,
this
it's
day.
the Killers. I'm talking about the
now,
one, the one this year. It's the Killers. Hosier will be there. He'd probably be a pretty good show.
Yeah.
But Brittany Howard is there on that
Yeah,
Friday.
I saw that.
But then the Saturday is
Yeah, it's like-
insane.
And what sucks is we're gonna have to miss one of those bands. It's
It's Avett Brothers, Black Crowes, Black Keys.
Yeah, so two of those are playing at one stage, but whichever one would be.
Well, the thing is that we're not going to have to miss them. I don't think we'll have to miss them. I think they'll just like overlap a little bit, probably about like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to see somebody at the back though. So I'm saying is we get close for like Avett Brothers miss so and so, and we'll be close for two bands versus like being at the back of all of them.
Oh, I got you. Or if we just, yeah, I would say probably be at the back for the Black Crowes, as much as that hurts to say.
Whichever has the two. You ever listen to the Avett Brothers?
Not really. I never even heard them until Bryant turned me on to them, but I haven't got into them now.
Really?
No reason that I haven't. Just haven't.
Yeah. What about Marcus King? You ever listen to Marcus King?
Oh yeah. I've seen Marcus.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
So you can tell the story. He's like, I was telling him after we went to what was it? Pilgrimage Festival, and we saw him, and I was like, man, he like melted our faces off. He's like, oh yeah, I saw him at like some place in Greenville, like he was like the park or something, like a park in Greenville.
Yeah,
like
he was
10
like,
people watching. He was like 17 years old.
Yeah. I was just like, this guy is going to be like,
Right?
There's no way this
Holy
guy's not
shit.
traveling straight up. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw him, when we saw him a couple years ago, I was like blown away.
And I was already blown away before. Like we were like, we got to see
Yeah.
Marcus King. He's going to be awesome.
And seeing him live is like, just the audio doesn't do the justice of how good this dude is.
No, just watch. It's like Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's just,
Yeah.
again, it's just like, yeah, I hate you.
Have you seen
So-
Stevie Ray Vaughan?
I have not.
Okay, I thought I was like really.
I would have loved to have, though. Yeah.
Oh man,
I could imagine
so
how
good.
he would improvise, man. Just gosh, Stevie Ray
Well,
Vaughan
like
was
the
one of my
video of him where like
favorites.
the string busts.
Yeah.
and someone
Yeah.
comes up there and
Right.
he's still playing while they're
Yeah.
changing the string out,
Yeah.
like the BB King
Yes.
style.
Yeah.
Like, God, dude, that's so impressive.
Stevie's insane. He was on a different level.
Yeah, Stevie was always one of my favorite guitarists. Some of those other guys.
A brother-in-law got me into him.
Nice, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan was always one of my favorites. Really, little Eddie Van Halen was like,
Oh God,
it's instant with like you're like, oh yeah, that's probably the greatest guitarist ever. Like when you first
Right.
like you
Yeah.
you can argue
and he's
that
so fast.
with Eddie Van Halen, and obviously when you hear Jimi Hendrix, it's like
It's
even to
different,
this
yeah.
day, it's like this is just this isn't like a genre of music. This is like his own thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So I was talking to a guy at work, my buddy Keith. Shout out to Keith. I really want to have him on the podcast. He's a little standoffish about it, but I think I can pull it off.
Nice.
But he is so, because he worked in healthcare for a long time, but he's kind of he has 2 kids now, and he's raising them to be musicians in a way, like, you know, he's teaching them piano and stuff, and so he's always played like music at his church, and he has like a very like simple palette as far as music goes. I didn't have a better term than palette, but
Palette works.
so I was playing him Wait Until Tomorrow by Jimi Hendrix, and he's listening to it, and he's like, this is almost hard to listen to. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, because he doesn't stay on the same. It's like it's like he's soloing riffs. He's playing 12 riffs in 7 seconds. And it's like, how, I don't even know how to keep up with it. So this is so hard to keep up with.
Oh, there's a lot of there's a heat. Yeah.
And I showed him like Little Wing. It's like the riff doesn't stay the same in the entire song. Like he's playing like he plays the solo at the intro, but he's playing like 12 riffs throughout the whole song. It just changes riff.
And you know when he plays that live, he's improvising. And
Oh, he didn't remember
He
any
never
of
plays
that.
it the same way.
No.
He didn't remember.
Yeah,
it.
he never
just
plays
did
it
it
the
live.
same way.
Like when he recorded it, it was probably just like
How he was feeling that
Don't-
day, you know?
you know, yeah.
It had to all be about feel.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Because
He
he had no
couldn't read
music
or write
theory. He had no
music, so-
music
Right,
theory.
yeah.
Yeah, just like Eddie Van
All
Halen,
of
no
his.
music theory.
Yeah.
That's so impressive,
Genius.
And then you can have someone like the Dire Straits who has like a masters in like music or whatever,
Right.
and you can just like to see the technical aspect
Oh
of things.
man,
you know?
it's so good. And that's one band that he always talked about was Dire Straits that I hadn't really got into enough.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to one album, the album with the Dobro on the
That's
front.
all I've listened
That's
to.
the only one I've really listened to.
I might be wrong, but I think it's the first album. Whatever album has Salt and Swing on.
That song is so good.
Oh, it's amazing.
The drums and that song.
album is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The song Waterline.
I think that is the same album, right? With the Dobro.
It might be. It might be.
It might be. I can't remember.
I want to say that it is.
I think it is.
I just remember it's like white outline, something in the middle. But,
Yeah,
oh
I think
my
that's
gosh,
it.
yeah, those guys were.
Yeah. I always like
Yeah,
it.
so
I'm starting
much,
to get into them.
and that's kind of a more progressive rock band.
They are, yeah.
Yeah,
Very technical.
yeah.
Like, and I know this is like not really off topic, but anytime I used to think of rock and roll, I would think of the band Boston.
I would think of AC/DC.
I would think I don't know what it was. I just thought Boston. I was like, and maybe that's because the song.
Boston's
Shit.
a great band.
What's the song? It might be rock and roll.
More Than a Feeling.
The one that goes, "We were just another band out of Boston."
Oh yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good, and like they were just another band out of Boston.
Yeah.
On the road trying to make ends
Yeah.
meet. Like they were
Yes.
they were losers.
Yeah.
They were freaking losers, and they just like made it work. It was so, it
Right.
hits every time. That song hits so hard, man.
Yeah, they were a good band.
And, like all I can think of is like that's the spirit of rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like having just we're probably like a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
And like realistically, like we're like this close from being living in our mom's basement and poor till we're 70.
Yeah.
You know,
this
like,
close to being just homeless junkies,
yeah, exactly.
probably.
Yeah.
That close to being homeless junkies, but they were just another band out of Boston. Oh, it's so
That
fucking
is cool.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole album.
And that's a prog rock band. I didn't even realize it
Yeah.
until like it
Yeah.
took me a while to diagnose that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
the progressive rock.
They're good, dude. Yeah, some of my favorite prog rock bands. You know, obviously Tool's going to make that list. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
For
That's
obvious
got to.
reasons. Pink Floyd was one of the ones. My first couple albums that I ever listened to, Pink Floyd. My dad got it for me for Christmas or something, and it just like
Which album?
Dark Side of the Moon. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't say that. I don't know.
Do you have that CD or?
I know my CD collection got stolen.
So I don't know if that CD was with you then or if I have it at the house.
I think you. No, I think
might-
you have it at the house.
It
yeah.
might be at the house. That's what I'm
It
saying.
was that. I had that. Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I did have Back in Black.
Yeah,
Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. That was the time. That was like 2001, something
I
like
think
that.
that's right. 2001.
Yeah, that kind of got me into like. I guess that was my roots of metal was Linkin Park. Honestly,
Oh,
but
man.
my roots of rock and roll was Pink Floyd. And
New metal is so strange.
I had never gotten into Linkin Park. Nothing against them.
I get it.
Just
I get it. Too.
I get it.
I get it too. It was like it's like a little bit of a whiny voice and like
Yeah.
it was like the hip hop like with the DJ.
Yeah, I'd be
Like
shocked
this.
for like older guys to like new metal.
Well, I had 3 kids at the time.
What you like? You like
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit
Just-
though. You do like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, Limp Bizkit's so
they're just
good.
so
But that's
fun,
like
though.
kind of like that
But
can
they're so heavy and edgy.
They are so heavy.
yeah,
and
that can
edgy,
kind of think the connection
Spot
is hair metal. I think that's the connection with because
It's kinda
both of them
party
are
music.
party music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Linkin Park's not party music.
No.
So it's like you can't really you're kind of more in your feelings when you listen to Linkin Park
I could see
versus
that.
like
I could see that for sure.
Limp Bizkit's like let's break
Right,
your
yeah.
fucking face tonight.
Yes.
You know, like that shit.
Yeah,
Linkin Park was more like
breaking
angst.
the
Yeah, they were
habit.
edgy, you know, which
They
I
were.
always loved the first 2 albums by Linkin
So
Park.
good, man.
But
Yeah, I mean, really, what was the first 2? Damn, Hybrid Theory and
Meteora.
Meteora. Yeah, what was
Yeah.
the other? They had the other one too.
yeah,
that was
Minutes to
really good.
Midnight. They had,
Minutes to Midnight was pretty good.
Yeah,
Minutes to Midnight
they
was pretty
had
good.
Man, it's like the Divide or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Transformer song.
Yeah, it was
across
like,
this new divide. I'm
Weird
not a fan.
time.
It was weird. That was So the guy I was telling you about Keith at work. We always play the guess the song game, and so I'm pretty good on the stuff I know.
I believe you.
But I was like, but the hardest stuff is like I told him the hardest stuff for me is hair metal and pop punk. I can't get any of the pop punk stuff. Like if it was stuff like Fall Out Boy, maybe some of it, and
I could get you on pop punk.
But I was like
Hair
hair metal.
metal.
I was like it gets me so bad. And he played like 15 hair metal songs in a row, and I'm like, I don't know. And then a White Snake song came on, and I was like, oh yeah, I know that.
I
White
get confused when it's like Wasp, Cinderella.
Yeah.
because all the guitarists can play all the riffs,
Yeah,
and all the singers can hit all the freaking.
Mm-hmm.
so which
high
one about
notes.
hair metal?
Oh, they're
Those
great. They're
fucking
insanely
guitar
talented.
Players
Right.
are insane.
And the singers, the vocalists are insane
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah.
It's funny to put Wasp and Cinderella together.
I know.
Yeah,
but
it's-
they
it's
go
opposite.
together.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They were great, but it's
Yeah.
like,
And it's like, is
what's-
it Queensryche
Yeah.
or
Completely
Dokken? No,
different.
Dokken.
Right.
Dokken stood out though.
Yeah.
George Lynch was above in that category.
Oh,
for
George
that.
Lynch.
Lynch
yeah.
Mob. kicked
Lynch
ass.
Mob, yeah.
Yeah, he top 50 for sure. I think. I mean, a lot of those guys from the hair metal scene were.
So much talent, man. I mean, and even like obviously Van Halen is hair metal as much as
Oh
I don't
yeah,
want
for
to say
sure.
it.
Yeah,
It's hair metal.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Van Halen is like, oh, that's Van Halen. Like that's the easiest one to pick out.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen,
Well,
Van Halen was like
in
a cheat
White
code,
Snake,
man.
White Snake was an easy one
White
to pick
Snake
out.
slips through the cracks for me.
What's the singer for White Snake?
Sebastian Bach?
No.
No, that's
that's,
Skid Row.
Skid Row.
That's Skid Row.
Yeah.
It's
Coverdale.
Coverdale. Yeah, David Coverdale.
David
David
Coverdale.
Okay.
I don't know why I always get those two mixed up.
I was a little upset whenever you said
Yeah,
that. I'm not
Sebastian
gonna
Bach.
lie.
Oh, that's Skid Row. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
okay. I
David
think they're
Coverdale.
both probably.
They're pretty, And Motley Crue stood out
Equally
too.
obsessed
Motley
with
Crue
themselves.
really stood out because of dipshit. What's his name?
Tommy Lee.
No, singer Vince Neil.
Vince Neil.
Yeah, Vince Neil
He's
stood
got
out
a
so much.
horrible voice.
And that's why he stood out.
Yes.
That's why.
But Tommy Lee had the energy too, though.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like just like
I've seen them a couple times.
if you
Yeah.
played
we'd have
if you played a hair metal song and his Motley Crue, you're like, oh yeah, Mick Mars and Vince Neil stand
Yeah.
out so much. They're like they're a little different.
Yeah.
Than,
So you hate Vince Neil's voice?
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's shitty.
how do you feel about Axl Rose?
It really is.
Oh, poor Axel. Yeah, I don't know though. See, that's a band that just fit with
The
time
one
in my
album. The
life.
one album.
Yeah,
Appetite for Destruction.
yeah.
Is,
See,
What a badass album.
Appetite for Destruction came out when
I can use that.
87,
80,
88,
80. It was like 80s. Yeah.
I thought it was 86.
86. See, I was in high school. I mean, that was the shit right there.
86. Maybe. When did Appetite for Destruction come out? Now I'm curious. Yeah, I think it's like 86.
Maybe it was earlier than I'm thinking. Yeah.
It might be. I was going to say 84 at first. But
No.
80. I was thinking 86, but
It wasn't 84. I know that.
no, it can't be.
It
can't be
couldn't have
84.
been before.
88 sounds about 88 and 86 sound about right.
I'm gonna go 87.
I think you
I
might be
don't
on.
know.
So we'll have Bryant check when
Yeah.
we get back.
Anyway, that album, that album.
That was the
just
only
kicked
album for
ass.
me, that by them,
But yeah,
November Rain, Use
his-
Your Illusion.
See, yeah, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Those are fantastic.
I liked
Alice Cooper. toured
Yeah,
with them.
yeah. I've
That's
seen
some
Alice
great
Cooper
stuff.
a couple times. He always puts on a show.
Oh
man.
gosh, yeah. See, Alice now, Alice. I guess you could say some of his stuff could teeter on prog from back in the
Yeah,
day,
I
but
think
I wouldn't put him in the
I
prog
would go
category.
hair metal probably for Alice.
Definitely for the 80s stuff.
Cooper. Yes,
But
yes.
but the stuff that I grew up on, the early 70s stuff,
yeah.
there was just something about him. I don't know, man. Little kid,
Just connected to.
4, 5, 6 years old, outside playing, had a transistor radio,
Nice, yeah.
AM radio. And growing up around Pittsburgh, it was Alice Cooper, Led Zeppelin, and The Who. And I just
Nice,
listened to
dude.
them all the time. And I would be out riding my bike or, we'd be whatever, playing whatever we're doing, games or whatever outside. And I'd have that on me. I don't know what it did, if it clipped on or whatever. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
I was always around music. And there was something about Alice Cooper that just drew me in. And I honestly don't remember how many times I've seen Alice Cooper.
I've seen him, I think, twice, but Led Zeppelin was that band for me. To where I told you my roots, but when I got into like 2021, I picked up a guitar, started playing. The first song I learned was "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, but Led Zeppelin is like listening to those guys. It's like that's when music broke through for me. I was like, oh, John Bonham is like, this is one of the greatest drummers of all time. You match him up with John Paul Jones, who is like one of the greatest writers, bass players of all time. At every position, it seems like that guy is a top 10, top 5,
John Paul Jones is
top 3, top 2, top 1.
I don't know him better. Musician, producer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's so multi-instrumental.
so good. And keyboard, all
Right.
that. I mean, he can
Yeah.
do it all.
Yeah.
And
Gosh, I got in Zeppelin, 12, 13, early teens. And there was nothing like coming home from school and listening to Led Zeppelin 1 and 2,
yeah.
especially Moby Dick when John was playing with his hands.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yes. That was the one I felt like that's what everyone knows him for. Is just full power, obviously. Be able to hit the drums.
His freaking hands were bleeding,
Yeah.
I'm sure, by the time he was done. But
Yeah.
no sound that you ever heard before on drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just brought so many like how one guy could bring so much energy and power. Talking about John Bonham.
Oh man.
Through his playing was like really changed.
My first guess was Chris Cornell.
Playing Moby Dick with his hands.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
dude.
Top that.
Oh no, it's
Top
not happening.
this.
Keith Moon tried, and he couldn't.
See,
Keith Moon really tried.
still a big Who fan, so love Keith
Dude,
Moon.
but he
Keith
tried,
Moon
and
is
he
one
just
of the
couldn't. And he
goats,
just couldn't.
man.
And he couldn't make it to John Bonham.
Yeah.
Keith Moon was insane.
He was. Him.
You taking Neil Peart or John Bonham?
Yeah, I'm very interested. I'm very interested in your opinion on this.
Well, you take their styles are so different.
Yeah, that's
For
the
sure.
hardest part.
John Bonham is just a heavy hitter.
and more
Yeah,
influential.
absolutely.
He'd be down the
Yeah, I agree.
he'd be down the hall in another room playing because he was playing so loud they couldn't focus
Right.
Yeah,
playing their instruments. So melodic, but Neil Peart is just
when you think of like drumming
the-
at its peak
It's Neil Peart.
and most
Neil Peart's by far the
prolific.
greatest of all time.
Yeah, I always thought he was the greatest.
And I love John Bonham.
But I will
John
say-
Bonham's too.
And Keith Moon. Yeah.
Keith Moon's
that's
the three.
There's a lot of great
that's the
drummers.
three.
I mean, there are like
And then
a lot
I-
of great drummers.
then I
but I would
go-
put Neil Peart first.
Then
I
I
agree.
go,
Yeah, I
then I start getting to Dave Lombardo and Danny Carey at 4 and
Oh,
5.
yeah. Dave
There's
Lombardo
an
from
argument.
Slayer, man. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You know, the kick drums, the like that, just the
Yeah,
he's
right.
so
Angel
good.
of Death.
The
And
And
that,
you got the Appice brothers.
Yeah,
Can't
yes,
forget them.
yes.
oh god, man.
You got Mitch Mitchell. You
Oh,
got,
yeah.
you know,
Mitch Mitchell is always forgotten.
yeah,
man.
the drummer for the Police. I feel like deserves to be in that top 10.
Yeah.
You know, very.
How do
very
you
good
feel about the
prog rock
Police?
drummer.
I really like their third album. Yeah.
Police is great.
Key and Peele.
Yeah,
Have you seen that skit?
Probably.
Where it's like the aliens that are disguised as humans, and so they ask them like specific questions, and if they answer ridiculously, then they'll shoot them. and so it's Key and Peele, you know, two black guys, and they come up to another black guy and they go, "How do you feel about the Police?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I really like their first album." Like, yep, let's shoot this dude. That's an alien. That's not a person.
Right.
It's so funny.
That's funny.
Yeah,
The Police are good. Sting is very talented. And Stuart
dude,
Copeland.
yes.
Is,
some of the songs.
Stuart Copeland is another
Oh man,
John Paul
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh. He put out so many
The
music scores
the keyboard
and
for the
movies and
Police is
shows
just-
back
they-
in the
they-
day.
it's
bring-
all of it.
yeah.
Another great prog rock band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know you like a lot of documentaries and stuff. The Eagles documentary, where they were talking
good.
about Don Henley, and they used it was the same recording studio that Led Zeppelin had used. And he's like, Don Henley keeps asking, "Can you turn up the bass drum or the snare drum one?" And he goes, "Why can't you just need to hit it harder?" Like John Bonham didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
And he goes, "Yeah, I'm not
turn
going to
it
hit it
down."
like John Bonham." He's like, "That's insane. I can't do that." He's
doesn't
like,
fit with the
He
music
said, "I'm hitting
either."
it as hard as I can, and it's not John Bonham." He was like, "You got to turn it up for me. I'm not that good."
John
It's so
Bonham was a
funny.
beast.
He had so much power.
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
So much power, like you're talking about a fighter.
He did,
Like Mike
though.
Tyson.
Yeah.
You know,
It's so much power.
I think that Neil Peart's the greatest of all time too. But I will say that every professional drummer for a band seems and leans more towards John Bonham.
Yeah, I mean Dave
That's
Grohl.
what they're
Dave
gonna
Grohl's
say.
one of them.
He's another one
Yeah,
that
he
people
leans
really
towards
love.
Well, he leans toward John Bonham.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl is one of those just national treasures, dude.
I have much respect for Dave Grohl. I got to say something about Rush, though.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
have you ever listened to Caress of Steel? All right. So, since you're not that big into Rush, listen to Caress of Steel. That's
Okay.
that's before they got. It's fantastic.
Okay. I
Great rock and roll album.
appreciate Rush.
It's
for
before
sure.
I
they
really
got
do.
really proggy.
Okay.
Caress
Okay.
of Steel is just a great, heavy. Just
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. I like the way you're describing
energy.
this. Yeah, I like the way
I'm
you're describing
definitely
this.
I'm gonna check this out for sure.
Yeah.
Because Rush is one of those bands that I just, God damn, they're so good, man. And I
Caress of
appreciate
Steel
them.
is like
Good.
But
what got
I just
me into
can't.
them.
Like,
They're just-
I never
it
want to
was-
search them to look them up. It's like,
Do you put them over Pink Floyd and greatest bands of all time? I used to say that I did. I argued this until I died with
Man.
one of my buddies, Jacob. But
you know,
I can't do it. I can't do it
What
anymore.
this is like a band that's more like talented versus a band who can write and who is way more influential.
the quality of music
and
too.
the quality
Yeah.
of music, like all, but that could be subjective. Like it
For
could
sure,
be,
for sure.
You know, the Beatles Led Zeppelin argument is like,
Yeah,
you know, you got these guys who are, I mean, but they also have the catchiness too. But
right.
yeah, for between those two bands, it's like I want like just the technical aspect of things. I want to go Rush, but I think the simple answer is right. I think it's Pink Floyd.
I think you're right too. I just want to acknowledge the professionalism you just showed. So if you're not watching on YouTube, Sean's talking and he burps out of the side of his mouth so it doesn't pick up on the mic and keeps talking. Didn't even skip a beat. He's talking and he goes, and he keeps going. It's so gross, but it was
Your
so
burps.
I'm
good.
sorry if you smelled that because I didn't push it your
No,
way.
you did it that way. You did it that
Did
way.
I?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was good. It was
I've been
good.
shooting them off too. So.
That's so much professionalism. Just talking. Yeah, and then keep going.
Hopefully you guys
Yeah,
didn't
I
pick
had to
that
point
up.
it out.
I don't know, man. Pink Floyd. Gosh, when I was younger, sitting in laying in my room on the floor, lights off, in between speakers, listening to
Dark Side of the
"Welcome to the Machine."
Oh, welcome to the machine.
man.
God.
I mean, come on.
Welcome.
If your
my son.
mind isn't blown, yes, that's it.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
machine.
That's actually
And you get like all these
Chills.
just
I
yes.
feel like you're in space.
Oh,
Yes.
it's so good.
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
so good.
Did I take
man.
something?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. That's how it is anytime some of my go-tos, I'll go into like an addictive phase where I listen to The Wall.
I do that a lot. Yeah, the
And
Wall.
man, that intro and the Thin Ice is just like,
Thin Ice, yeah.
if you want to find out what's behind these cold eyes, you just have to
Yes.
claw your way through this disguise.
That's so deep.
And that's the start of the album. I just got chills thinking about it. That's the start of the damn album.
Yes.
You ever seen The Wall? I don't even. Of course, you've
Yes.
seen The
That
Wall.
was-
I don't even know
I'm
why.
upset at you.
I've seen it thousands of times.
It's one that I haven't watched in a long time, but I'll occasionally go look up clips of like the kids going through the meat grinder and
Yeah.
like the school teacher with the eyes or like the flower.
man,
You know, the animation was like so
I love it when he's just gone. He's sitting in his chair. He's all shaved.
like comfortably numb. I think is like
That's where
numb.
it goes
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
But it's I think "Dirty Women" or whatever
Whatever
the song is.
Young Lust.
Something
Young
Dirty
Lust.
Women. Young Lust leads into that part of it. Oh gosh, that's just when he's like.
Mother. Sorry,
There's
go
a suitcase on the left. You'll find my axe down the hall. Or
Yeah,
whatever it is. It's
yeah.
just that shit is on fire.
What is it?
ahead. Mother is one of my favorite songs off that album too. It's just got a good like juicy kind of like bluesy riff at
Yeah.
the beginning.
You'll
I feel like.
find my favorite axe.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you'll find. Oh, David
Right.
Gilmour with the feels.
Man, so-
David Gilmour, his first album, solo album.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that came out.
So good,
That was in
man.
the '70s too. That just
Yeah, David Gilmour is on my top 10
Yes.
favorite guitarists.
And it says
Very
into the
underrated.
bedroom in the
Yes.
suitcase on the left.
Yeah.
You'll
find
my
favorite
axe.
So
So good. So one of our guests we actually had on about a month ago, Will Ritchie.
Yes. Shout out Will.
Oh man, you got to tell him that story about the.
So he comes over and I show him and he's kind of like this kid who is
It's like a kind of more sheltered.
he's
kid.
a little sheltered, but he's finally he's been sheltered for a good part of his life, and he's finally starting to break out of that. And I think all of that's coming at him at once. So it's like, you know, fucking Sex Pistols and Jack White and, you know, the Misfits
Floyd.
and heavy metal. And then I show him The Wall at the house.
And his parents wouldn't let him watch it.
I mean, he had only seen, they're very strict. So like
Exactly why,
he had
yeah.
only seen, yeah, exactly why. The Matrix, that was the only rated R movie he had seen. So I remember we played a Harry Potter game and the Harry Potter game said "damn" in it, and they made him take it back.
oh my gosh.
But that was a great. I really love those people. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
I really
for sure.
they were all great people.
Yeah,
but,
they were like really strict, and they wouldn't let him watch it. And so he comes over to our house and watch it. And I'm like 7, and I still remember this.
yeah.
And so he comes over to watch it, and you know the scene where Sid Barrett shaves his eyebrows and he's
Yeah.
all shaved up, like you were just talking about.
Shaved his
Yeah.
nipple off
Yeah.
too.
And so
Oh, the sound
So-
of the water in the sink.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the next day, Will Ritchie comes to school and his eyebrows are shaved off
No.
after watching
Yeah.
the movie. And my dad always
fucking love that
anytime we refer to this, my dad always goes, "Oh, that's why they didn't let him watch it." Oh shit!
Oh,
You
yeah.
fucked up.
Oh man.
Damn, that's why they
Oh
didn't let him
man,
watch it.
just a guy who wasn't a guy who's not afraid to be himself.
Right.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I
Fuck
can
it.
express myself. Let's do it."
Oh, well, this is like Trent Reznor shit.
It is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Oh man, he shaves his eyebrows. I tell that story to like my karate students still. Like,
I love
it's
that
such a
story,
powerful.
man.
It's
That's
so powerful.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a yeah.
And y'all are in what, 9th grade, or we are in 8th grade?
I want to say it was like around middle school time.
It's like 8th grade.
9th grade. Yeah, it was.
And he goes home and he's like, like that's what he got.
Well, you
in
got the
movie.
white. You got the
And
white
he's like,
skin.
I could do that. He sees it.
See,
He's like,
this is why he wasn't supposed to watch it.
he goes, oh, that's why he wasn't. That's why they didn't let him.
Shit.
I would really dropped the ball on that one.
Take it back. The Men in Black thing. The Zapper. You bring the Zapper out.
Flashlight. Oh man, it was so
Yeah.
good.
There's just something about Pink Floyd that it's a whole vibe, man.
Oh gosh.
It really is though.
Oh man.
Their real early stuff, like
The Sid Barrett days.
yes, Saucerful of Secrets.
It's a little odd.
It's so weird. Man.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Yeah.
The one,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
can-
album? I can't. Maybe that's the album with all the faces, like the faces on the front. It's kind of like you're looking through one of those old school, like your grandma used to have kaleidoscopes.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
it. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their first few metal,
yes,
MEDDLE.
yeah.
Yeah. and Sauce Full
Metal.
of Secrets.
That was the one with
Pipers at the Gate of Dawn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you into little bitty bitty pieces.
Yeah.
That was the first song, and then it goes into like
crazy.
the Beatles. It's
Yeah.
like so laid back,
Yeah.
but that first song was like the first time I listened to metal. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be like their other stuff.
Yeah.
No, I was wrong.
No.
But that first song,
Yeah.
The early stuff's
So
a lot
heavy.
harder to take in, but then
It is.
I mean, so it's like if you don't like if you go watch or listen to The Wall, some of that stuff can be like really weird. I mean, if you watch it, yeah, but if you watch it, it kind of puts into context the concept album, you know?
Gabby and I went to eat one night, and then it was like on a Wednesday, and we're driving home. It's like I think we ate actually a sushi burger, so we had like a 30-minute drive home. And I was showing her The Wall for probably like the 12th. This is like a month ago. And I was showing her The Wall, and we've been together for 6 years, so it's like I've showed her like 20 times, but I'm showing her again, and I'm going through from the beginning, and I'm explaining like what David Gilmour and everybody's thinking, Roger Waters, and I'm like, and she's just like, "You're such a nerd," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's so powerful," and I feel like such a dork. It's so good. I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you understand. It's so powerful. And then I showed her like that string of like. Goodbye Blue Sky, Young Lust, and the one where he is like, you'll find my favorite acts. What song is that? It's
I can't remember. Look, mommy, a bird is in this.
that's Goodbye Blue Sky.
How's it start? It's something
Doom,
like that.
doom, doom, doom,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it goes straight into it goes into
it's
Young
dark.
Lust, and then
Yeah.
it goes into One of My Turns. One of My Turns
so.
is the one with my favorite acts.
Yeah.
To see me die? Would you
Oh.
like to see me try?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, David
Oh,
Gilmour
that-
makes that song.
There's someone on the phone, and there's a man answering. She
Yeah.
keeps hanging up.
Yeah.
Oh man, and like just like explaining that to her, and I'm like, it was like so like I felt like ridiculous how like I didn't realize it at the time. I'm just like, oh, and this is this, and I'm like spouting off all these words about how it goes. She's like, you were such a dork. And I'm like, yeah, you know.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
And then the realization's hitting me.
That's
I'm like,
okay.
I just said 1,000 words in
Yeah.
like 6 minutes.
Only made sense to you.
It only makes sense to me. And I'm like, it needed to be said. I was like, I can't be upset.
That's
at that
right. No, nothing wrong with that. Oh,
Oh,
gosh,
man.
yes. Such a great band.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall. It's hard to tell which one I like better. I mean, I guess it's Dark Side of the Moon. I guess that's
For me, it's
hard.
The Wall.
But The Wall, man, is right there.
It's The
But
Wall.
see, Dark Side of the Moon came out in 73, and 73 is like the best
Ah,
year
man.
for music.
So this is
release.
something-
69, 72, 73. That's
For
those
me,
3
it's
years.
73.
I know we've talked about this so many
Pronounced
times.
Leonard Skinner came out.
Yeah.
Then
73 deserves a
Skinner is
discussion.
so
I gotta use the
good.
bathroom.
Dark
I'll
Side
be
of the
right back.
Moon.
Go ahead.
Jethro Tull's Passion Play.
Oh man, it's just like it's nonstop.
Stones had one or two albums.
What year was Moving Pictures? Was it 73?
No.
Might have been earlier.
No. Moving Pictures was...
Or no, it was actually late. It was a lot later, wasn't it?
Moving Pictures was 78 or later.
Yeah, I was also thinking. I
Yeah.
was thinking 77. It was definitely later, but there's so many good albums in 73.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't know. I'll make a good argument
Elton
for 69.
John had
though.
like 2 or 3.
I'll make a good argument for 69 though, man.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you
Led
that.
Zeppelin
Yeah.
1 and 2. That's where I
Yes.
start the
Yes,
argument,
yes,
man. And
yes.
then like, what was it?
Yes, Hendrix.
Yeah, was it Axis Bold as Love, or was that 71?
Beatles put out 2 albums.
Yeah, they had Abbey Road
Yeah.
and one more in that year. And then Hendrix was it Hendrix Experience? I think was that year.
Let's see. The Jimi Hendrix Experience?
Yeah, I think that's the album they put out that year. Or Are You Experienced? Yeah, that was 67. That was
that'd be
67. That was
67, yeah.
67. 69 was it might have been Axis Bold as Love.
Electric Ladyland.
Electric
was
Ladyland. That's what I kept
maybe
picturing. The red.
70?
That was 71. Electric Ladyland
71?
71.
Okay.
Bold as Love was 69.
Oh, gosh. Bold as Love.
That's the one with it starts
Yeah.
off with the alien spaceship and the it starts off as the thing.
Robert
Yeah.
Critchlow.
Yeah, that's it. And man, that album, it's just like that year is so good, but
Castles Made of Sand.
I know. Oh man, and then but like 92 can make a good effort too, with like Nevermind from Nirvana and Dirt from Alice in Chains.
Oh,
Trent
yeah.
Reznor put out or Nine Inch Nails put out Pretty Hate Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like just non-stop insane albums. that
You
year,
know,
too.
I've told you about the early grunge era.
Oh man, I know.
The
Riding
feels,
home, listening to
yes.
Stone Temple Pilots. I think Core
Yeah.
came out that year. Core was the one with Dead and Bloated, and
That was that would have been 92 or 93.
yeah, I believe it was
That-
92. Core
that
was 'cause
Story I told you.
yeah, right.
That was,
Okay,
That was when I remember when grunge came out, but that was when grunge had like set in.
Right.
It had its claws.
Right. Yes.
And it was like mainstream. Like
that's so
grunge
insane
bands
to
were
think.
showing up like,
because grunge was such a tiny
everywhere.
part of music history,
Yeah.
and it like sank into the mainstream. It was
Yeah.
so deep, it like was so deep, and it's like you had like '92 was Pretty Hate Machine and Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains and Nirvana and Pearl Jam had Pearl Jam was what? Pearl Jam 10?
Primus.
Primus. What album by Primus was '92? Was it the Brown album?
Probably, yeah.
It was either the Brown album or Frizzle Fry, maybe. Frizzle Fry was like
Frizzle
90.
Fry was
Might have
the
been 90.
first album I got into of Primus, and I just moved here. I'd heard of
Me
them
too.
before.
That was John the Fishman.
No, that's
Brown.
Still in the Seas of Cheese.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. What's the single off of Fizzle Fry? I'm thinking of.
All I can think of off of Frizzle Fry is he's singing. He says something about eloquent, and he goes, and whatever rhymes with eloquent.
Frizzle Fry had
Only less.
it didn't have Winona's Big Brown Beaver. That was
That's one of the songs.
that was like the blue and that's an awesome song.
Oh,
and
it's
the
great.
music video is so
Yes.
ridiculous.
I know.
that's that song, and that's another one of their big songs. Maybe that's the big song.
I remember whenever we went to see Primus, you, Austin, and I. We had been drinking all day. We went to
Oh my
Farmburger.
gosh.
We went to Farmburger.
Well, we pre-gamed at my
Oh,
house
yeah.
for hours.
Yeah, and I got there late. I had a tournament
all
that
the way
morning.
there.
And
Yeah,
so I got
Austin and I
there. I
started
got there
before
late,
you.
and so I get there. We drank a 6-pack of Voodoo Ranger on the way there, and
Spilling it in
Yeah.
Austin's Jeep, and he got pissed at us.
and so we get there.
my cheap guys.
And
I
so
actually was holding one, and I don't know what happened.
yeah, I don't know what
Arthritis
happened.
set in.
You just crushed it.
dropped
Oh,
my
shit,
beer.
damn it. And
He
so
was so mad.
and so we're like, I remember being like hammered at the concert, and I get into the mosh
Shout out
pit. Yeah, shout out to Austin, man. Such a I love
Austin.
him.
Sorry.
I do
And
too.
so we're
Our designated driver.
yeah, right. And so we're in the freaking mosh pit, or I'm in the mosh pit, and I'm sweating it out, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting to sober up. Whew. It's like I was like worried there. I was like, gonna be like
The mosh pit helps.
I was worried I was going to be too drunk, and like this is going to be a bad time. So I sober up, and then I go get 2 more beers. I get too drunk again, and I go back into the mosh pit. I'm like, damn it, why did I do this to
Where'd you
myself?
say you were at?
It was at
We're in Asheville.
Asheville. It was the Harrah's.
The Sword.
It was the
It
sword.
was the Sword
Yeah.
and Primus. That was the only 2. And Primus was doing the Farewell to Kings, the Rush
Yes.
tribute.
Nice. Yeah.
But and I
Him
will
and Geddy Lee, a big friend, big friends, right?
And so I give it I give them a lot of credit because Primus recognized that nobody was liking the Rush stuff, so they went
Yeah.
back to Primus.
Right.
And it was supposed to be the tribute to Rush, and they put like 4 Rush songs, and they're like, yeah, no one likes this. Let's play more
Sometimes
Primus.
you gotta do that.
But I remember whenever they did the Went On His Big Brown Beaver, and they put the video
showed
up
all
on the
the
screen,
friends.
and you just got the freaking
Well,
there's
well,
cowboys
well,
walking. It's so stupid.
Oh man.
But dude, 92, man. 92 is
92
one
is
I'll make a
deserving.
case for. I think 69, 73, 92. 72. was good,
72
too.
is yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
year was the Doors? Was it 73?
Oh, it was
Was
The
it-
Doors
70.
was all 67 to
Yeah.
but that one album though.
Jim died in 1970 or 71.
Oh,
Talking
did he?
about the one.
Same century.
I was thinking they had a 72 album, but maybe I was
Well,
Oh,
they
the
put
one
stuff
with
out. I mean, they
okay,
put
yeah.
stuff out after Jim died, yeah.
yeah, the Doors had the one with the little mime on it running. Can't remember the name of the album for the Doors.
What was the one with the where it just had Jim Morrison's face on it?
Oh, that was
Instead
a
of
good one, too.
yellow.
The Doors, yeah.
Like their biggest album. Was that it might have been 70. I was thinking it was in the 70s. I gotta pull
That
this
actually
up.
might even be the first
It
one.
gets crazy
be.
between 68 had a lot of good shit too, but 69 was like
Well,
my God.
I'm going to have to ease it
Oh,
back.
it was
1 year.
67.
I'm going to have to go to
67.
67.
yeah 67 yeah
67 was so good.
67 yeah 67 was what I was
Yeah.
thinking 67
Say
to
67 to 74.
like 74
Yeah,
yeah,
67
that's
to
where
74.
it kind of like it was
Yeah.
like there's so
insane.
much good that's like the
Yeah.
They
best
had like Cream putting out those 2 albums.
so good I mean
Yeah.
you can
Really Gears.
there's no
and,
ending there's no ending to it
But then there's Blind Faith.
Oh, so I never really listened to Blind Faith.
Oh, see.
And you've stood
know.
by them for so many years, and I just haven't done it,
Oh,
man.
see, yeah. You take 2 of the best bands, Traffic and Cream, and put them together and create Blind Faith?
I never listened to them
Oh, really?
yeah never listened to them
Oh, my gosh.
I'll check
guys.
them out.
You got to listen to Blind Faith.
what's some modern music you like because I'm sure
You mean there is modern music?
I have to say this. I'll tell this to like all the guys from your generation, and it's hard to find. but it's out there. Like a Marcus
It is
King.
out there.
You like,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
Marcus King, yeah.
You got to dig a
I
little
can think of an
deeper.
example for you.
Let's see. I'm
The new
trying
Red
to
Hot
think.
Chili Peppers album.
Yeah, there
he
you
has
go.
not stopped listening
No.
for since
Yeah.
it came out. Like he
Yeah.
listened to it like
Yeah.
20 times,
Yeah.
30 times.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
liked it.
Just listened to it yesterday.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
like the drummer off that song is good.
Oh yeah, the drummer.
I'll-
I was thinking
I'll- album.
Chad Smith. What was the one? Is that the one that sounds like doo doo doo?
Yeah,
It sounds like a Final Fantasy
like
theme
battle.
song,
Yeah. What's the? There's a couple.
And,
other
There is no new band that I like. I think I'll be safe to say that. But there is bands that are putting out music now that have been around for a long time that, they're doing something current.
I think
that
We've got
enjoy.
some for you.
because I like
We've
to
got some
find
for you.
because I like to
But
'cause
they're just...
The Black Pumas
the Black Pumas. You
Never
would like
heard of
them.
and Alabama Shakes. Those
I
are
was-
the two.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I've listened to them a little bit.
Yeah.
Black Pumas
They're
is-
out there. You just gotta
that's so
find them.
good.
So like
Yeah.
that's why like I'll love my heart is in the classic stuff. The
Yeah,
the
for
blues
sure, for
rock,
sure.
the rock and roll,
Right.
Classic metal. I do like a lot of modern metal, but
like Trivium or
I think my favorite era of metal is the 2000s era. I was thinking this last night. Now I haven't confirmed this, but that or the 80s.
Thousands era of metal.
Yeah.
you're considering new metal too. I'm guessing.
Yes, all of that.
I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you on that.
I've noticed myself listening to that more, like that style of metal more than I listen to like the 80s and 90s. But I think the 80s and 90s are probably it's really hard to
I don't
say.
think it is.
I think that metal's evolved.
And the reason I say that is because whenever I think of like 80s and 90s metal, I think Metallica, Iron Maiden, Slayer.
Metal has changed. What you just said, it evolved. It has. It's
It
not...
has. Just play
metal.
as fast as you can,
Yeah.
like Dewey Cox.
Yeah.
Well, you're playing it so fast and hard,
Right.
like some kind of punk.
Yeah.
It's just,
'Cause
but that's what they did.
You take a band like Three Doors Down. Not really a metal band,
Yeah,
but they had that
Three Doors Down was one of the like
metal tinge.
they had the post grunge. The post grunge
post-grunge.
bands
It's
were
sucked.
it
hated
kind of
post-grunge.
fucked. I mean, I was gonna say it's kind of fucked rock and roll, but I mean hair metal kinda
Grunge
Fuck.
was short.
It was so
grunge
short.
was short.
It
So
was so
short.
influential.
You're right though, because when grunge somehow stopped, who knows how it stopped? What came out after that was like
It was post grunge.
So,
the
so,
Creed.
What
so
is
the Crab
up?
Man, the Crab Man.
Stains,
I know. So
Puddle of
Crab
Mud.
Man, one of our guests, we've had him on here twice, and he said
not
something to us the
Crab
other day.
Man from My Name Is Earl.
Kind of similar. Not
dude.
no afro, and he's white.
Okay.
So he said, "What would be worse, to lose BB King from music or to lose Chris Cornell?"
Oh,
I was thinking about this again the other day.
And this is such a hard question.
well, that's tough because
It's apples to
Chris
oranges.
Cornell
Well, that's
is
fine,
more
yeah.
in my lifetime than BB King was.
And exactly, that's fair.
But you take BB King out, holy cow!
Yeah,
This
Does
is
lose
our
the
argument,
same?
yeah.
If you
Probably
take him
not.
out,
And then and so
so
my
too.
argument was that Chris Cornell was such a huge part of grunge, and grunge was so small. Like his impact on grunge was like, I mean, but and maybe that's because I obviously lean more towards Chris Cornell. But and then Crabman's argument was that, but BB King was the blues. He was the blues.
BB King was the
Robert
blues.
He was
Johnson
the
too.
blues.
Robert
Yeah.
Johnson
Yeah.
was like him and Robert Johnson.
Oh man, the
Robert
Crossroad
Johnson
Blues,
before,
baby. Yeah, for sure.
you know,
What,
BB King.
27?
Yeah.
1927.
Was kind of started the roots of blues, but BB King really like
BB King, man.
BB King
was the
man.
most. He's the most influential. I mean, other than Jimi Hendrix, but that's really blues rock. I feel like.
And then Jimi Hendrix, yeah, I guess.
But
he
that's
was
fucking
influenced by-
blues. I mean, he's playing the
Yeah.
blues, man.
Oh yeah,
And then Jimmy Page, you listen to like "Since I've Been Loving You."
Oh God,
That's literally BB King.
yeah.
It's so
Well, anything that came out of the Yardbirds is blues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what a band! Was it
Right?
Jeff Beck,
Yeah.
Eric Clapton, and
Sonny
Jimmy
Boy
Page?
Williamson.
Yep.
God, dude. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
this is insane.
Yeah.
People seeing that in that time had no clue what they were seeing.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the case from 67 to
Yeah.
75,
Can you imagine
6.
just being someone there just hanging out dancing, being like, yeah, this is great,
Yeah, you're seeing the greatest musicians
Yeah.
that'll ever live.
And here we are, 50 years, 60 years.
Talking
however-
about those guys
Yeah.
dancing to that
yeah.
stuff.
right.
Yeah, I don't think there's very many bands that's going to stand the test of time now,
No.
being made nowadays.
No.
But I think there are some bands, you just got to dig a little deeper. It's harder to
Greta Van
find.
Fleet has really tried to bring rock and roll back. They can't do it, man.
I don't know
They
about
can't do it.
Yeah, you remember how much of a fan I was early on.
That first From the Fires, that EP was incredible.
I don't care now.
I don't care either. Yeah,
It's become like
They became kind of like.
them.
Yeah, me too.
His voice got just a little.
I don't think it's not the voice.
music's
they're just
not that
They're
good.
just so like
It's watered down. Yeah,
they watered
they're
down so
Coachella.
fast.
They're
yeah.
so
They're
Coachella.
Coachella, exactly.
Yeah, or
They're so
Bonnaroo
Coachella.
or whatever. Like it's just
God.
such a. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. Like when they first
Yeah,
started
I'm
out, it
with you
seemed
on
rock
that.
and roll and like. Damn, we all would love to see a modern band sound like Led Zeppelin. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
A lot
Yeah.
of the older guys, they were always shit on Greta Van
They're just trying to
Fleet.
sound like Led Zeppelin. Well, why
What
wouldn't
that
they?
what
Right.
we
Yeah.
want right now?
That's what we want.
Please,
Yeah.
good.
That's
you know?
what we want. Yeah.
But yeah, like the second album wasn't bad, but like that's when I started losing interest. It was like I kind of caught on to that.
Yeah, I really liked the second album, and then it kind of like it just kind of grew away from me a little more
Me
and
too.
more and more. Like, there's still a few songs I'm like, damn, that's such a fucking good song. But
They're a great band. Sam Kiska and
Oh, they're still a
the
great
singer
band.
of
Josh
Kiska, got
Kiska
Josh and the bass player. I can't remember his name
yeah,
or the drummer. Is it the drummer?
no, the drummer's Danny something. He's
Okay,
not the
yeah.
brother. He's not the
It's the
brother.
bass player, the guitarist, and the
Josh, Sam,
singer.
and I don't know the other one.
like Jake or something. I don't know.
Maybe Jake. I don't know.
But yeah.
Man,
I wish
they-
you just got to dig a little deeper now, and that's why like I'm so excited to talk to like the older generation
It's like
with
even
some of this
Royal
stuff
Blood.
because there's some good stuff out there, but it's a little harder to find. It's not like is turn on the radio and then there's the damn Beatles,
No,
and Led
you
Zeppelin,
turn on the
Rolling
radio and it's
Stones.
still fucking.
I guess the only thing is I pick up on now is like probably female vocalists that are just outstanding.
Like who?
I can't even think of any names.
Like Adele or
Yeah, definitely Adele.
yeah.
Yeah, Adele's ridiculous.
Just
I mean, every pop
I just
singer is going to be phenomenal.
I don't
Yeah,
really
that's accurate.
follow any new music, but you know when I hear something,
You don't
see
need to.
something, no, I don't.
You don't need
Not
to.
going to. But it's like, wow, that was powerful.
Yeah, I think the problem
It's gotten away from the music,
for sure.
I think.
And I think that's what you're speaking to is I think that the problem is popular music has become that.
Mm-hmm.
But like the blues rock and like the indie scene and rock and roll and heavy metal are still putting that stuff out. It's just not as popular as it was back then.
Right.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
like now you're getting just more like what's popular is just ridiculous.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, you got
Dave
the-
Mustaine's still kicking ass.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
but you got bands like Mastodon who started in the 2000s and
Still going.
and the
with
Black
phenomenal
Keys
albums.
and the Black Pumas and
I gotta check out the Black Pumas.
Alabama
I've
Shakes
never heard of them before.
and
Yeah.
Chris
I thought you
Stapleton.
listened to them before. Every day's a new day.
Every day's a new
Every
day.
day's a new day.
Every day's a new day. I like that saying. Chris Stapleton is one of those guys who
Yeah,
just
that's pretty fair.
you classify him as country, but yeah, he's actually just a guy who has a southern accent who just sings good and plays good
Yeah,
music.
right.
Like he's kind of his own
Yeah.
thing.
Country doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, you find
it's
it's
pop.
same thing.
It's pop.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Everything
It's
everything
pop.
is popular is
Yeah.
like
Country to me was
auto tune,
Waylon,
catchy,
Willie.
bubblegum
Yeah,
bullshit,
right.
man.
hmm
yeah, Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. And
Yeah.
But those guys still exist. You just got to find them. They're out there, and there are like cult classics for those guys, like a Marcus King or a
Yeah.
some people say like Luke
Marcus
Holmes.
King, that's crazy. It
don't
just
say
keeps
Luke
coming
Combs,
up.
he's pop.
I don't know. I've never listened to him,
It's
but people
pop, dude.
is he?
Yeah, it's just pop.
Really?
It's the same shit that we're shitting on right now.
I don't know. But I will say
don't know.
that. I will say that Tyler Childers is another one who's got that kind of southern twang. Who kind of you can tell he's got the influence from the blues in a little more modern way, but
Yeah, for sure. He's a lot more folky.
yeah, folky. But
Like,
like
that's the problem. Is like all the good country now. I mean, that's not the problem, but it's all like it's just super folky. And it's awesome.
yeah,
There's so much Johnny Cash influence and
but that's how I like.
Bob
that's how I
Dylan
like
and
my country.
like
honestly.
those older guys, but also
Country.
like
yeah. Sorry.
that's so folky, man. Like a lot of Bob Dylan and like all of those same like older guys. Like that's what country is now. Like good country is that.
You get into singer songwriters at all?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you get into singer songwriters?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm more into the music, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's especially like probably more into the females like
Like a Janis Joplin. A Patti Smith.
Yeah.
You like Patti Smith?
Yeah.
Which I do like a lot of
Joni
Bob
Mitchell.
Dylan too, though.
Bob Dylan.
I really got on a Bob Dylan kick like
Carly Simon.
3 or 4 months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Edie Brickell.
Edie Brickell. Oh, Edie. I
what's
love me some
Carol,
Edie.
who
Carole
did
King.
Carol King? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Carole
Tapestry
King.
is such
Tapestry
a badass
is a great album.
Yes.
It's a
What
top
did I
10.
just tell you about Tapestry? Did I not tell you that?
I don't know when it was, but it was
Holy
sometime.
cow! There's
No, I bet that was
something-
one of the nights that I was over making Moscow Mules that night.
Well, we can't be talking about that. Then.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to I don't really want to say that it was just a phase.
Yeah, we had a little liquor phase there.
Yeah,
for
it
a
was
few months.
a
Three
few
of us.
months. Yeah, it was like we had like 3 or 4 nights. Where
Yeah.
it was just like
He was the bartender.
yeah, I was the bartender. It was so
mixologist.
fun.
I
Man.
was the
It's a
DJ. Yes, he was the
I'm not done. I'm not
mixologist.
done. I'm not done. I'm
No,
coming back
we
to
need
it.
to do it again. Yeah.
It's so fun.
We just had
man.
to take a break.
Yeah, we did. It needed to be done.
How were the drinks that he made?
My favorite was his all-natural margaritas.
Were they good?
Oh, they are beyond good.
I'm not a bartender. I'm a
Yeah.
mixologist.
Not a margarita mix.
No more.
He was over there.
Yeah, that's that
squeezing-
cheap shit.
He's over there squeezing fresh lemons.
Putting the
yeah.
elbow grease in that
Lime,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
squeezing limes, and fucking
We-
got the agave juice. And
Oh,
I'm not
shit.
making a mix, man.
Is
Anytime
that, is
I
that
have
the
a
night
margarita.
that Gabby's like, let's do the shots? Let's do a perfect shot.
Oh, that was. I don't think that was the only night. It was twice. It was twice. She did it on that night, and we did. No, it was the gin. We had a
Oh,
gin
the
night.
gin night was crazy.
I
yeah.
still like.
I
still like kind of crave gin
I
now.
like gin, yeah.
Really, dude, it's so good.
It has to be, you have to have it with the right mix.
I don't do
was so
liquor
good.
anyway, so
Gin's gross by itself, but yeah, we
we need
had,
to have another gin night.
yeah.
We need to have another gin night.
Oh, gin.
And Gabby's like, "Yeah, let me make the perfect shot." And then she tastes it. She's like, "Oh my god, it tastes like a pine tree."
Yes, that was it.
That's
That was
gin.
it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what gin tastes like.
Oh,
And then so we
God.
did it with tequila again too with the margaritas. But,
Yeah.
man, it's so fun.
You guys
doing
ever
that.
drink Rumple Mints?
Oh, man.
I
I had it
feel
for
like
the first time.
I have a story.
there's always a Rumple Mint story.
There's a
Everybody,
story.
yeah,
Listen.
you always got to cheer a Rumple Mint
So
story.
I was early 20s, not even married yet, and living at the beach, and worked at a electronics store, Video Concepts, and a good friend of mine, Ted Hulford, who passed a couple years ago, got me into Rumplemans. And it was, we were talking about something. I was like, I haven't been drunk in a long time. It's like, I just can't seem to get drunk. And he's like,
Watch
I'll
this.
take you out.
I got something for you.
I got it. I got
So
it for you right
we
here.
had all previously got membership to this place called the Sandy Monkey, and it was either in Surfside or Garden City. I can't remember. And the only reason
Brass
we
Monkey.
did it, the only reason we did it
Monkey.
is they were open on Sunday. This is before you could drink on Sunday anywhere.
Oh wow.
In South Carolina. So it was because it was private. So we
yeah, it
we
was
only
like,
got these
what?
memberships to
15 years
drink
ago
there
was
on
like
Sunday.
that.
Dude, it was like 5 years ago. It was like that.
yeah. Well, this is early 90s.
God, so crazy.
So Ted and I and the guy's name is Rick and someone else, I can't remember. We all go to this Sandy Monkey. And I drank like 12 shots of Rumplemans.
oh,
and had a couple of
God
beers.
dang, son.
And all I remember is Rick dropped me off at my house. Dee Dee was my girlfriend at the time.
All right.
We weren't married yet.
Right.
I met her at the door of my apartment, and she pulled me by my tie into the bathroom, knowing that's where I was spending the night.
Yeah. Right.
I've had them nights.
And I woke up from there thinking, oh, I wasn't in bed.
I thought you were gonna say I woke up there thinking, "Oh, death wouldn't be so bad."
felt that. Also,
It was
also
horrible.
felt that.
It was horrible. But I got drunk. And that was what I was trying to do at that
My
point.
last hangover, like,
That was a long time ago.
it was about, 4 or 5 weeks ago, my last hangover, the Charleston Sports Pub.
Oh, really?
That was my last
That's been-
hangover.
yeah, it's been 4
Because
weeks
I've only
ago.
had 4 beers. Well, not counting today, 4 beers since then. Which is like 4 beers in 4 weeks. Hell, that's a pretty good ratio for me. So,
Solid. Yeah.
yeah, it's
4 beers in 4 weeks. That's impressive.
yeah.
I don't want to count. I can't. I couldn't.
Yeah,
Because
I-
Austria.
I
We went to
crave it.
Austria,
I
man.
do crave it,
Dude,
but
right?
Beer was cheaper than water.
Yeah. You get beer at McDonald's.
Yeah. We didn't because I was hungover.
you get beer at McDonald's,
You get
like
beer at McDonald's.
domestics.
You can there, yeah.
Yeah, in Europe.
Domestics.
Anything.
And no age
Craft,
limit, right?
really?
I mean,
There's not a
Domestic-
drinking age, right?
no.
I guess domestics for us. is-
16.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
obvious.
All their beer is basically craft beer.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude,
man. I'm
it's so
stupid.
good.
Why would I
dude.
ask that?
So so I had a Gaelic last night, and I realized that I really like browns a lot more lately because after Austria, I had some browns.
Gaelics are good, dude.
And dude, it just didn't hit. Like I was like, I was like, I'm in the mood for a brown now after Austria. And I was like, this isn't the same.
Sweet
Wartiner.
Josie and Cigar City makes a good
Yeah,
They do.
brown. Yeah.
Wartiner.
Wartiner. I don't know what you're telling me right now.
Wartiner.
Is
They
that
make a like a blonde color beer and a dark beer.
You can get German beers over here, like there's
Yeah.
like a Franzensteiner.
Ingles
and-
used to sell it. They might
Really?
still. I haven't been to Ingles in a while, but Wartiner.
Okay.
If you can get Wartiner dark,
That sounds like what we're gonna have to have on here.
You're
We're
gonna
have to
I
like
have
will,
it.
yeah.
we'll
I'll
have to have
it's
try.
smooth.
We've
Okay,
had
it's
Brett me send us some requests on some
Okay.
German
Yeah,
beers.
we definitely
so,
need to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some at Total Wine.
But man, the craziest thing was sitting at the top of like that mountain, and there's a bar up there. Of course, there's a bar up there, and everything is snow. Like there's nothing but snow on the ground, and then having a big ass. They call it a Weissbier.
It's
Did
that
you have
tall.
any spotting?
I didn't. I don't think. I don't know. It's possible.
So I used
I
to
don't
have,
remember
I
having
used to have a tap at my house, and I was going through a keg like every 3 weeks,
Damn.
just myself. This is when I was like your age, though.
Right.
Well, a little bit older than you.
I love
And then my chiropractor turned me on to Spaten, great German beer. And so I went to my dude at the beer store, and I was like, I want to get a keg of Spaten. He's like, well, you're going to have to get a different tap, because it is a different tap.
Yeah.
So I got a different tap. And it was like this cylinder shaped. It was a little bit smaller of a keg. But, I could drink one of them kegs of Spaten in about 10 days.
So impressive.
Oh man, doing keg stands.
Spaten.
Yeah, by yourself.
Yes.
Doing cake stands.
Nobody to applaud but yourself.
I would love to do a cake stand. It's been so long since I've done a cake stand.
I've never done a cake stand. I don't think I
Really?
ever will. Yeah.
I couldn't do one now.
Oh, we
Did
can
one
make it
back in the day,
You want to bet?
but-
I bet you can do one.
No.
I bet you can do one, man.
I'm not gonna get all this up in the air now.
No, we'll help you.
We'll hold your legs.
Yeah, we'll hold your legs.
I
man.
can do it then. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that one I was like,
That's
16. I
just
don't know
I'm
where I did
past that speed, man.
Yeah, I don't do that stuff.
Yeah, it's too
I-
much. It's just too much. I drink
Ah,
fast
come
enough
on,
already.
you could.
I would do
You
it.
would
I
do
would
it.
do it. I would
You know,
totally
both
do
of us would be doing
Yeah.
cake
I
stands.
wouldn't want to,
We'd
but
do it in this damn kitchen.
It don't take much convincing for me because I kind of want to do it, but I don't want to.
And someone's like, "Hey, what if I do it with you?" And
I'm
you're
like, oh, okay,
son of a
I'll
bitch,
do
I'm
it.
in.
Well, I mean, if we got a keg, why would we not?
Yeah.
"Oh, absolutely." All right, so what are we getting? What kind of keg are we getting if we get one?
I feel like
Oh, that's so good.
Wicked
Like,
Week is good, dude. I like
Whenever-
Wicked Week.
Wonder if you can get a freak of nature in the
going
keg.
to this, I wish I had that.
I have to say, okay, I have to address this because we've had a lot of different types of beers on this podcast. I was talking to Heather the other day, and I was like, okay, what's my favorite brewing company? And I guess I would start with number one. I would go with.
Can I answer before you
Go ahead.
go? So there's two that are in my mind. It's the one that you're drinking right now, but your favorite is Highland.
Highland is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highland, and then probably. Oh man, we got Sweetwater, we got Sierra
You can't
Nevada,
say Sweetwater because you only drink Sweetwater original.
but I love it. So I love that.
That's true.
I've
You love it
tried
so
all
much.
of their stuff.
Yeah.
I've tried every beer they
See, I
had.
think you like Sierra Nevada more just because you like all their beers.
I like Wicked Weed more than I like Sierra Nevada.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but Sierra Nevada's coming after that. But
As do I.
Yeah,
yeah,
Wicked Weed is
Wicked
Wicked
Weed
Weed, I
is
can't get
like
past
number
Wicked Weed
3
right
for
now.
me, dude. Wicked Weed is just the shit.
Wicked Weed is number one for me.
Oh, but man, if there's, I know we've shit on Elysian Space Dust.
I can't do it, man.
This is
You love that.
This a Space Dust drinking
You're the
fool
only
right here,
motherfucker
man.
I know. that
I've
drinks
worn
Well,
it.
I
It
only-
was
slap
for like
out.
legit like the first
Yeah.
5 years that me and Gabby dated.
I remember you telling me, and I was
It
like,
was nothing but Space
how?
Dust.
You want to know what's weird?
What's that?
My dudes at my beer store were out of what I wanted last week, and I got a 6-pack of Space Dust, and I was like,
Yeah, that's what I think.
That
every
does
time I-
happen. Like,
every time I drink a Space Dust is what I think.
with IPAs,
and
though,
I used to drive past the transfer truck trailer and see it and just be like, mother load.
Those be
The
sweet,
mother
the
load.
Lagunitas is another one that I really,
Lagunitas is
really,
good.
really love.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
Oscar Blues. I really like Oscar Blues.
Blues is really like growing on us lately, man.
Yeah.
Bells.
Bells.
Not
Oh,
real popular
Bells.
here.
Bells Two Hearted.
Wow.
Oh,
They're
yes.
L, yeah. Really good.
They're triple IPA.
So I mean, I thought you said Bales.
Bales. I'm sorry, I'm from
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Egg.
Bales, whatever.
No, I heard you.
No, yeah, it took me a second. I had to hear him say it. Like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Bales triple.
I'm missing
IPA.
one that's
Bales
really...
triple IPA.
Is freaking ridiculous.
Oh, really? I've never had the triple.
Oh,
Thomas
it's
Creek's a
popular
good one.
beach.
Thomas Creek is
Thomas
very
Creek
good.
is great.
Trifecta is
Yeah.
delicious.
Yes. The trifecta.
Trifecta.
Yeah,
Yes,
Stone.
trifecta. Stone is good. Yeah.
Stone is good.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a, I can't remember the name, but it was out of Columbia, South Carolina, on Tuesday or Wednesday from an IPA out of Columbia. It was
Huger Street.
remarkable. No, that's Charleston.
So I thought that was I thought they had that.
think that
it
is
Charleston.
Charleston.
But
They
every
had
time,
that.
but Columbia has a Huger Street, which is
They probably do.
right there by the stadium, by Williams-Brice
Yeah.
Stadium. So always, whenever I see Huger Street, I always think Columbia.
I'm missing someone
I was
big,
on to
though.
Huger Street for a while.
That's pretty good. That's okay.
Oops.
I'm missing someone big who I always... Who's my number 2? Because, yeah, Sweetwater 420 is one of... Sweetwater is one of my favorites for sure.
Ever, yeah, for sure.
But, yeah.
See, I was big on Fat Tire and,
Fat Tires
and Sweetwater
Yeah. Fat Tire's
for a
good.
while.
Yeah, Fat Tire's good.
But
Goose
I get
Island,
your
man.
faces.
I went through a phase of Goose
Goose
Island for like a
Island,
month.
Gosh.
Maybe 2. Maybe 3.
Yeah, no, you was long. You was pretty...
It was like 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what got you into IPAs.
Yeah.
Mine was Sierra Nevada.
Remember
And
all
Terrapin Hopsecutioner is such
Terrapin,
that's
that's
a good
yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Like, I've been craving that and I can't find it now. Like I don't know what happened. Like,
I've never... Yeah, I don't see
It's around.
Terrapin anymore.
It's
I don't
still
see,
here.
but I don't
It's
see Hopsecutioner specifically. Like I
Yeah.
want a 6-pack of Hopsecutioner.
Yeah.
It's
I was
still-
craving it the other night.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I was talking to Mom. We were talking about like drinking until we black out. She's like, "Oh, I never do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't either." Well, except for like 2 weeks ago, and then like 2 weeks before that. But I was like, "But I've only done it like 3 times in this house, 4 times in this house, 5 times in this house."
I've only blacked out like a handful of times. It takes a lot.
Yeah, it's I think like 5 times total.
I have to be doing like...
Cinco de Mayo,
Yep, that's one.
Cinco de Mayo, Austria. I did it in Austria, man.
Yeah.
And, didn't mean to. We said 1 beer. We said 1 beer.
That's how it goes,
Yeah.
though.
We
That's
said
what,
1 beer.
That's what you tell your buddy to get him out there.
No,
Hey, man, let's
we
have
said
a-
it to each other. We
Right.
agreed on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the worst part.
We're not going to
It
drink
doesn't
tonight.
work that way.
No, we're not drinking.
Yeah.
Well, let's just
One
have
beer.
one beer.
And then when you all that tastes good. And I feel fine now.
Yeah.
It didn't do
right.
anything.
Let's
you
just
know?
have another one.
Oh, I'm feeling even better.
1
You
beer
know
turned
why
into
not?
2, and then we was like, so our bartender had.
Hey, I guess we're
uh,
doing this, boys.
he had-
Go
he had-
3, 4. I guess we're doing this, boys. Here we
he had
go.
so our bartender had a gin cocktail that he had created called Purple Rain, and it was so good, man. I don't even remember what all he had in it, and it looked good. It tasted good.
That's the problem if you don't remember what all was in it.
Well, he told us, but I was also drunk the night he
If
told
there's
us
that
so.
much in it. It's so good.
And so like he had all these things he did. It was so good, man. It was like, and I'm not like the sweet cocktails. I'm not like but the gin made it like
Gin's
it was the counterbalance.
Y'all
so it
some
made it
gin
enough.
motherfucker. I've
Gin is
never
So it was
met.
enough. It was perfect.
Y'all
And so
crazy
we're
as
like,
hell.
well, before we go to bed, we at least gotta have 1 more of those cocktails. We're 2 beers in. 1 beer, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. So we have the Purple Rain, but whenever I go to get it, Travis goes, "Well, I'm getting a Purple Rain and a beer." I'm like, I don't want a beer right now. You know, I'm just gonna get the Purple Rain. He's like, "Oh, you'll get a beer." And I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna do this to me." So after I finish the Purple Rain, I'm like, "Oh, fuck it, I guess I'll get a beer." And he goes, "Yeah, I told you you'd get one." And so I'm not gonna let that slide.
No.
So then we keep drinking. We had like 1 more beer after, and then he goes, "All right, you ready to close out?" And I said, "Nah, man, you can go ahead. I'm gonna have another one." And he goes,
you sissy.
he goes, "You son of a bitch." and then it's
It was
5 a.m.
on.
And then it's 5 a.m.
You can go
Oh,
ahead.
man.
I'll have
Yeah.
I'm gonna have me another one.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I'm not
so the
really
next-
gonna be
So
that
the
guy.
next day
Yeah,
we go
pussy.
down there. Yeah, right. So it was like not the next day because we were too hungover to drink anything the next day. But the day after that, we go down there and we're looking at the bottle of tequila.
Like Nick Frost, right?
We're looking at the bottle of tequila right now, and so we were drinking tequila that night. We opened it on like that night. It was Thursday night. We opened it on Thursday night, and we're looking at the bottle of tequila, and it's like this much left. And I go, "Benny," that's the bartender. I go, "Benny, did we drink all that?" And he goes, "Y'all drank." He goes, "Y'all drank about to this black line
You
right
feel
here."
me?
He said, "Y'all drank about to this black line right here,
Benny.
and a whole other bottle. That's not the one y'all opened on Thursday." And I go,
No.
And I look at Travis and I go, "Yep, that's where it went wrong."
That's the problem with like seasoned pickled livers. Is like,
Yeah.
Well, tequila. I mean, that's
Tequila's
that's
so
a
good.
stimulant, really.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it is.
You know, it's like drinking those loco, whatever they're called.
Four
Locos.
Locos.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
like drinking those.
Oh man, one of the first times I got fucked
I
up
use
was
the
on
bathroom.
like I drank 2 of those, and like 2 of those now would be like, I got a good buzz. Like, I'm starting to
Yeah.
get a little goofy. But, yeah, 2 of those then was like, I mean, 3 beers would get me drunk. I was like, I was 19.
I've only drank them once. It was
all
when
it
they
takes.
first came out.
That's all it takes.
It's so funny. Gabby, of all people, was at a friend's house. I don't remember. And I got 2 of them. And I went home and I drank them. I'm sitting in my living room. And the next thing I know is like, and it's Gabby outside the window.
Oh, no.
I had already slept through the doorbell ringing and the banging on the door.
So
And she's
what
out
the
in the window
hell?
living room like, what's going on?
Oh, those will put you on
Oh, it
your
was awful.
ass,
And it was
man.
only 2.
Yeah. That's all it
I
takes.
came home and I ate and I like, you know, it was like tasted
It's like
okay.
14% or something
You know?
like that.
But you don't realize it because of the caffeine in it.
Yeah. It just, oh, my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
Four Locos.
I felt like a complete ass. My daughter was locked out of the house. Just,
Yeah.
Dad, you in there? I can see you.
Oh, it was the damn Four Locos.
Yeah, 2 Four Locos.
Yeah. That's
It's only like
hilarious.
7 o'clock.
I haven't had one since.
I never had one after. That was it. I got those 2 and
I think that's everyone's story with
Yeah,
Four
it's like,
Locos. Like,
no.
I had a terrible time.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking to have a good time, and I found a terrible, like a fun, like it depends. You know, so
Right.
it was like it's worth a story.
It wasn't even a buzz getting into it. It was just like, this kind of tastes like fruit punch, kind of
Yeah.
whatever I was eating. You know, so I
Yeah.
drank one while I was eating. I was thirsty.
Yeah, yeah.
In a meeting. And then I started sipping on the other one. I don't even know if I ever even finished them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're waking up.
so-
Whoa, where am
yeah.
I? What
Right.
time is it?
Yeah.
Who's
I'm in
banging on my
freaking
window?
living room. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, the first time I ever drank. Well, I had like a Corona or whatever at one of my buddy's house, but like the first time I got like drunk was I was like 19, 18, and we had vodka and Mad Dog 2020. Mad Dog 2020, was that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude,
Which Mad Dog did
it
you
was
have?
the red one. It was the red one. I don't know if that's the gray.
The pink one I like the best. The grapefruit one.
Okay, yeah, I had the red one, and it's the only time I ever had Mad Dog, and that seems like to
That's
be
never changed since I was in my teens.
that seems to be like the early degenerate drink. Like you start out, you have like $3. Let me scrounge some change, get a Mad Dog for like
Yeah.
$4, and it's like a
Fuck 2 people up.
yeah, exactly. So I ever had 10 shots, which I mean, hell, I don't know if I could take 10 shots right now.
That sounds awful.
But I was like, I was sitting
terrible.
down the whole time. I was like, yeah, I don't really feel much. And I went to go to the bathroom, and it was like I never left the bathroom.
Oh.
It just hit me. It just hit me. It was so bad. He was talking about how you ever had a Four Loko?
Yeah, I've had one night. That was it. I've had it one time.
That's the story. Everybody has
That's it.
one night, and
Just one
they're
night.
done.
Well, it was the only time I'd ever had one. Like I've never done it again.
I've had it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
No, yeah, it's awful.
Definitely not now. But when you're like young and you're looking to get fucked up for cheap.
I wasn't even young. I was just like, I keep hearing about this.
Yeah, I guess he was like, you
Oh,
were
come
like,
on, you young now, man. You
Yeah.
ain't
This
never-
wasn't that long ago.
That's what I said. You still young, man.
Yeah, it
come
was
on.
big in like 2010, 11, I feel like.
Well,
It
it's
started
probably
to
about
gain
right.
some traction.
So I was telling Shawn, I had 2 of them. Gabby was at a friend's house, and I was at home by myself. And I only drank 2. It was like when they first came out.
And you're like, hey, these taste pretty good. Kind of fruity, you know.
And apparently Gabby had been ringing the doorbell and knocking on the door. Next thing I know, she's at the living room window. Dad. And I'm just
Fucked up Four Locos.
off 2. Yeah.
That'll fuck you up, dude.
Yeah, it was the first and last.
Yeah, I will say it like so. I was planning to pick you up at 4, and Gabby texts me and goes, "Dad's asleep." And I was like,
The Four Locos.
I was like, I was like,
I
he might-
just needed a nap. That's all.
yeah, I took one too. I took one.
I
Too.
took
Like,
one right before y'all got
10
here,
minutes. 10 minutes.
Got to.
Yeah, I had a 20-minute nap.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I was
You
about
killed
10,
it.
15, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes in day naps, man, you just need them.
need
Especially when you wake up
I
at
woke
5 o'clock in the
early.
morning,
I know. Well,
Yeah.
my body thinks I'm going to work, so it was up at 6, and I'm like,
and then it's like I don't have the energy because I haven't been doing shit.
Yeah.
so,
So I guess I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I just need to take the edge off.
Got to take the edge off.
Chris
you wake up, crack
Harris
a beer.
talking about like early days drinking. We're talking about Rumplemans. That used to be my shot. Like I used to when I was in my
Really?
party days, that was my shot. Yeah, and I just loved it,
What a
dude.
psychopath.
And
I never
know.
had it again.
It was
Patrick
I had
Bateman.
a lot. Yeah, I had a lot.
Psycho,
Chris
man.
Harris. This is how funny this is.
Does it
It's
ever come out of your nose?
I've never threw it up.
Uh,
But that's
No
probably
wonder
why.
why you still drink it.
Well, I don't drink it now.
Okay.
But we're gonna get to that. So that was like my early days. That was like my shot. Like, hey, let's do a fucking shot of romance. We're gonna that shit gets you going. Like, if you're like kind of sober, no, not no more, not no more. They've got the
No, you
romance.
taste it for the rest of the night. One
And
shot.
I remember, one of the times I linked up with Chris, and I think Heather was with me. I bought them both Rumple Mints shots, and Chris was like, "Fuck you." You know, Chris is like, "Fuck you."
I'm gonna drink it. But
I'll
fuck
drink it,
you.
but fuck you. So every time, like, I don't really drink liquor now, but every time I get with Chris, he's like, "Shot of Rumple Mints, get them to the table." He's like, "Fuck you."
Chris is so petty.
Yeah.
He's like, I still drink liquor, and guess
Yeah.
what? You're doing this.
Yeah,
now.
and I'm like,
Let's get you oiled up.
You don't have no choice.
all right, I guess I'm doing a shot of Rumple
He's like,
Mints for old time's sake
He
now.
said, "You made me do this. I'm
Yeah.
making you do this forever till we die."
Yeah, Chris is petty like that.
I
man.
love it. I love that pettiness. It's so funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I had my first shot of Rumple Mints. We had some get together for work, like an off-site thing, and so they paid for all our drinks and food. And so before we leave, we're like, "Well, we're gonna do a shot before we leave, of course, you know." And then the guy Forrest, he's like, "Let's do a shot together." And most people like kind of don't like Forrest for whatever reason, and so they're like, they're not gonna do a shot with him. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing a fucking shot with Forrest." I was like, "I want to know what he drinks," and he goes, "Let's get a shot, 2 shots of Rumple Mints." And I go, "Okay, let's do it."
I'm cool with a shot.
What?
of
Actually,
Rumple
wasn't that
Mints
bad.
this day.
It wasn't that bad.
I mean,
It was one. It was one shot.
I know what it brings. It's like a 140 proof or something like that, or not proof, but
So
I've never
I
had
took- I
one
took-
since the time I told
I took
you
the shot of
about it.
Rumple
I can't
Mints.
even-
Took the shot of Rumple Mints and went to break the record on the hard hit in the arcade. Hit a 940, baby.
Hell
was
yeah.
that like half?
Yeah. Oh, it was like
a
30
10?
points over.
I broke the high score. Did I break it?
Yeah. What does it mean? So I hit like a 934, and I was like, I can do better. Hit 939. Bam! Blasted it.
Nice.
Yeah, it felt good. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, like when you expect to break it, and everyone's expecting you to break it. There's a lot of pressure. I was like,
I don't want you to miss it.
everybody's like, oh, he's the striker. You know, he's gonna be able to hit it hard. And I'm like, shit. There's like some pressure on me.
Oh, black belt.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
Blasted.
see.
Bam! And I was like, yes. In my head, I was like, I'm not gonna break this.
Yeah.
I was like, but it was just that accuracy. Really, you don't have to hit that hard.
Oh man,
It was so fun though, man. I don't know about Rumple Mints.
I can still drink it. Fireball's the
It's
one
like-
I can't do.
Fireball
No,
is
Fireball,
Rumple
no.
Mints. It's just gimmicky. It's such a gimmick.
Rumple
like-
Mints has got the kick, but it also is like it tastes like
Golden Schlager.
peppermints. I've had some
Oh,
Goldschlager.
Never had it actually.
Goldschlager?
Never had
I had a
Goldschlager.
bottle in my apartment for years.
Anytime I think of Goldschlager, I think super bad.
Yep.
And a bottle of Goldschlager, you know, with the little gold bits.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
had a
get
bottle.
that bottle of Goldschlager.
I had a bottle at my house. It was there for years. Nobody touched it. Not at my house, my apartment.
Yeah.
And I guess one night we just all decided like, fuck them. We're just going to drink the liquor here. You
Oh
know?
Jesus Christ.
Which I don't do liquor like that no more. I can't. I mean, obviously I don't do alcohol like that like I used
Dude,
to.
last
but
weekend after I left
I've
here,
already completed all 4 beers though.
last
so-
weekend when I left here. Oh, you already drink 4?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
All in the podcast.
Yeah.
This is my second one.
I had one before the podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So last weekend when I left here, went home, I had a few beers. I had about 4 or 5 beers, and then me, Mom, and Noah took shots of tequila.
That was coming into his own.
Dude, I know, I love it so much.
I'm
I love it
really,
so much.
I'm really like excited to see his growth.
So I drank a bunch of beer, and he drank some like Mike's Hard with me because I had some left over from when I bought them for him. And he took a shot of tequila with us, and then
coming to his
he
own,
bought his own.
man.
He brought his own bottle of wine. He wanted to try some white wine, so he brought that. So I had like 10 beers and some tequila, and then I opened up like a $40 bottle of wine last weekend, and I had like 2 glasses left,
you Bert Kreischer?
dude. And then guess what I did to close it out? Liquid IV, baby. Woke up feeling like
I
I
wanted
woke up
that.
at 7
Feeling
a.m.
like a
feeling good,
boss.
feeling good. Dude, I drank so much. I didn't mean to. I don't want to.
I know. I've been doing this for so
I don't want
long.
to.
I can't do
Well,
it
and it's because I was
anymore.
home too. I was home, and I'm like,
I know I can't do it.
I'm
It's
gonna go
just-
get a bottle of wine after this. We're
Yeah.
going to pork chops tonight, so
I want
I gotta have another
beer.
bottle of
I want
wine.
another couple beers.
Go grab you a beer.
Yeah.
Why not?
I just.
Well, if you
I've
do-
been feeling good, dude. I've been feeling good lately.
Well, you want to take a break and go grab some beers?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. We'll be back, guys. We're back, guys.
Cheers.
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 So I was talking about Kanye, and so like 8 years ago, today I got a memory from Facebook, but it was 8 years ago. it was some post like how Kanye was talking about his greatness and Jimi Hendrix was like very humble about it. And it was like, the greats, they don't have to talk about it.
I remember this post from you.
I remember this as well.
In that moment, I'm like, Kanye ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
But really, like, Kanye is kind of one of those guys like we took for granted in that moment because you look at like rap and hip hop now, or that's not even hip hop, but rap now is so fucking bad. Mm-hmm. Like Kanye kind of had like a lot of like hidden like meanings and double entendres and like all these different things that were like kind of like genius to his writing.
Yeah,
that we kind of took for granted for that genre of music, even though we don't like it. That genre of music was. I
have to say this about Kanye. I think that.
It
takes a madman. Like we know Kanye of like saying the
abnormal,
the weird, the crazy shit lately that he has said. But I think the same the genius in like his music is also kind of the same. And the same person takes the same person like the crazy side of him too. Like he's kind of like there's definitely some mental illness there that I think. When it shined, it connected to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't shine, it's weird in its own way, too. I think there's something to the mental aspect of Kanye that connects both ways.
I
100%
agree with
like
that,
kind
man.
of his downfall.
I 100% agree with that. And I think like it kind of connects to like, you look at something like I'll refer to the Doors. If you showed somebody the Doors now that loved rap, they're going to be like, oh, that's kind of ridiculous. I don't like it. And that's like that craziness, or just like me talking to Gabby about Pink Floyd The Wall. They were psychos. They were insane. But that like craziness, that mental illness, it's like something that all the greatest, the people that go down as the greatest of all time, they've got to have some
They were a little crazy.
They're all crazy.
They're a little crazy.
The greatest of all time in any category of anything were crazy.
A little crazy.
They're crazy.
They dedicated their life to it.
And Kanye will go down as one of the greatest of all time.
I think so.
And he's insane. Just like Pink Floyd, just like Led Zeppelin, just like any of those guys.
Yeah. Sid Barrett.
Sid Barrett. I know, man.
I don't know about Kanye. I've never liked him, but it's crazy.
Understandable.
Me sitting here listening to you talking about him, I still like him no more. But I actually am starting to respect him.
And I'm the same way. I don't
like Kanye.
I
like a
do
few
have to
Kanye
respect
songs.
him that he's still. Yeah, I don't like him either. He's just a dick.
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
I have to say, there's a couple songs that, like, for me,
Run
who
away.
hate, I can't stand the whole genre of rap, hip hop. I don't really care. Like 90s rap and hip hop, I can listen to, but like it's nothing that I will ever search. If it's on, like I'll bob my head to it. Like I'm cool with it. But like, there's some songs from Kanye that like kind of slipped through the cracks. It was
Like Runaway.
Runaway, yeah.
Runaway's one. And it's such a like strange vision. Where it's like a 7-minute song, and he starts off with this.
And he can't sing for shit. It's like,
but it's the lyrics that
like
draw you in.
It's like
man.
the vocals on that song are terrible. But like
they're not good.
But they fit with the off
everything.
keys that are being played.
And it's like it's almost like it's
piano.
like jazz influence. It's like such a strange vision. It's like
it's like everything's out of tune, but yet it's almost raw in a way, to where you can kind of feel it.
He's one of the few rap artists that I would refer to as a rock star, and that's so strange. But do you know what I mean by that?
I can get with that.
He has such like his vision is in a rock and roll way, like where you look at like those guys and they put all this stuff together. But he's doing that like a Trent Reznor would. He's doing that for all of his music, and he still does.
Yeah.
He still does all that on his own. He doesn't have the ghostwriters. He doesn't have people coming and performing for him. He does everything on his own.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't like the dude, he's
he's
a
so
dirt
proud
bag.
of himself.
He's a dirt bag.
I know.
But I'll give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes it's hard to say about like Clemson, football. Fuck Clemson.
Damn. Yeah. I think. Who were some other? Go ahead.
So, what do you think of the Who?
Love the Who.
I love the Who. Yeah, Roger Daltrey is amazing.
Yeah, Pete Townsend.
Yeah, Pete Townsend.
John
of course.
Entwistle.
Yeah,
Amazing. It's another
Keith
band.
Moon, yeah.
To me, I felt like they were like Led Zeppelin was always to me the best band of all
you
time.
can raise your hand higher when you're talking about Led Zeppelin.
And
Led
then
Zeppelin.
the Who was
I
like
can disagree.
the Who was like right there, but it just didn't connect with me as much with the Who. Same kind of band, it's like almost to the T. Like amazing drummers, very high energy, powerful drummers. Roger Daltrey and Robert Plant were both very
great
charismatic frontman, long hair, tall, slender. Both two guitarists who were like, one played with like a lot of power with the windmill.
Both, yeah.
And then Jimmy Page, a little more technical, a little more.
But busts out the double fucking neck, the double neck fender, and the bow on Dazed and Confused, and like.
Yeah, so like they match to match,
That's so close, but they're so different. They're so unique,
right?
And unique in their own way.
Great music.
And the Who, for me, like
they had different audiences, I believe.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Zeppelin was probably more of the I guess the Who is more of the beatnik, more of the punk kind of.
Okay, yeah, because it was like
what I would picture.
Slamming guitars and
Zeppelin was more of the. It could.
I think that's spot
Zeppelin's
on.
hard to say who would all be there because I think it would pick up all the spectrum where the Who just settled in.
Yeah, there was a lot of punk rock to the Who, and I never really thought about that.
It's true though. They were loud.
Oh, they were so loud.
They blew their
Jesus
drums up.
Yeah, that's something I never really thought
Keith
about.
Moon
like
put so much pyro in his drum set one time that Roger lost his hearing for like 3 days or something. Is the story. I don't remember.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I never really thought about like referring to them as like a little bit of punk.
I've always connected
yeah.
to them because of just how good every member of the band, both bands are.
Which they're both British bands too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, they're both great bands. I don't like one more than the other, but.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I like Led
do
Zeppelin
too.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah.
But the Who, I give them the credit. They're right there with them.
The Who, man, there's some stuff.
I need to listen. I need to listen to more of the Who. I feel like I've listened to.
Listen to Quadrophenia.
Quadrophenia's great.
Tommy and Quadrophenia
Tommy
are the two albums I've listened to.
Tommy's
and
phenomenal.
No, there's what's the name of that damn album?
The
But
album I
of course,
have.
like, Who's Next?
Who's next?
Who's next? Yeah, those three
Face
albums.
Dances, even
I
though it was
listen
in
to
the
that.
80s.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Who's next is so good, dude.
Yeah.
Tommy, Who's Next, and Quadrophenia are insane.
Yeah.
Who by numbers? Oh.
Yeah. I just for some reason Led Zeppelin just took me over, and I went through every song.
You remember that band? Damn it! We saw them live.
I got into the Who before I got into Led Zeppelin. Odd.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Alice Cooper and the Who. Then it was Led Zeppelin and the Doors.
The Doors, man.
Those two hit me together.
Fucking Will Ritchie, dude, showed me the Doors. Never knew about the Doors until Will Ritchie. And we was in 7th grade, 6th grade, and he played this song. I think it's The End. Mm-hmm. And at the end, Jim Morrison, it gets real quiet. And it's just like a little hi-hat.
Sounds like the Doors.
And it's Jim Morrison in the background going, fuck. And he's like saying fuck like over and over and over, and like Will's like laughing about it because like he's like a rebel, we're in middle school and we were just both like laughing listening to this, and I was like, oh my god, the Doors are wild, man!
So wild, and that's why I referred to Jim Morrison or the Doors whenever I was talking about Kanye. Dude, Jim Morrison was nuts.
Gosh, yes.
He had
sometimes
you say people lose their marbles. He never had any marbles.
No. Yeah. No. And maybe that's the same with the same guy, the same guy who killed himself in Jim Morrison is kind of the same guy who is saying crazy, ridiculous, Nazi type shit.
Have you seen Almost Famous?
I think so.
So in Almost Famous,
who's that?
Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of he's a side character, but that's the main actor. It's the biggest actor in the movie.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson, yeah.
Yes,
Kate Hudson.
yes.
But
guy from my name is Earl. What's his name?
Yeah, Earl.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know his name, but Earl is in there.
I can't think of his name.
Oh damn.
But Philip Seymour Hoffman's character is shitting on Jim Morrison, saying that he's a drunk posing as a poet.
Mm.
But honestly, you know how
I have to say he's got a good point.
But hold on, I'm gonna counter this to. Sometimes, as a person that I refer to myself as, I'm pretty knowledgeable in music as far as, especially for my age.
You are,
especially and you for your age for sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty knowledgeable in older stuff. So whenever I hear someone just getting into Metallica because of Stranger Things, you're a little standoffish. You know what I mean? For a little bit.
You're right.
And so, I think that character I don't know. And I could be just looking too deep into it, but that character, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, is shitting on Jim Morrison because Jim Morrison is one of those like popular guys and good-looking guys that also has the deeper understanding, and he is kind of crazy, but he's shitting on him because he is like the popular guy. You get what I'm saying?
He's what he wants to be.
He's what he wants to be.
Yeah.
And he's shitting on him. He's like, oh, he's a
Because
drunk.
he'll
He's
never
a drunk
be
posing
that.
as a poet.
So he
But
tries
he
to bring him to
actually,
his level.
but he actually is a poet. He's a little crazy. He's insane,
I have
man.
to say, some of
Jim Morrison was unbelievable.
He's insane.
Yeah.
he was. Some of his lyrics are very, very simple in a way. Like I don't know, they're very. I don't know. They don't seem as poetic as a lot of people put them out to be. I feel like, but he is Jim Morrison. You know, he is the energy, the I don't give a fuck, the punk
Yeah.
rock.
He's one of the greatest frontmen of all time.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
all day. Yes,
I do agree with you. Yeah,
there's
It's-
some like kind of childish
it's-
lyrics to
yeah.
his that he tried to seem to make deep, but like really
It's been
wasn't
called
that deep.
poetry, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's
and
poetry.
I agree with
but
that
I think
100%.
it's like
right.
base level poetry, not like some poetic genius.
Profound fucking
And a lot
brilliant
were just
shit. Yeah,
Yes.
right.
you know
Yes.
that were just
But I think it also helps when you got the bass line. It's like doom 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 da, doom doom da, doom.
Oh,
You bust out the keyboard. You know, the day destroys the night, and night
Yes.
divides the day.
and
And he was just so like rock and roll, man.
I get it.
And like in the
He was
that's
a
one of my
bad
favorite scenes. That's one of my
motherfucker,
favorite
dude.
scenes in the movie
Wearing
with Val
leather.
Kilmer.
He
When they're
played
like
that part so well.
when they tell him that and you can't say girl we couldn't get much higher. Say girl we couldn't get much better. Girl we
Yeah.
couldn't get much better.
how
And
about
he goes,
baby? Can you bite my wire?
wait a second, hold on. And he goes, and he goes, yeah, I think I can do that. And he goes, girl, they couldn't get much higher. Yeah. And he looks into the camera, and they just immediately like, cut, don't take him off now. And like, that's rock and roll, man. That's part
right.
of it, of being the
Yeah.
rebel and like saying, fuck
Yes.
you.
Right.
It seems like some of those guys get so wrapped up in the music and in the
I know.
traveling and all that, they don't even care about the outside world in a way.
That's so crazy, man.
I don't know.
That's
But
so
yeah,
crazy.
there is something to that like crazy madness that like it ends up being their downfall. You know, like Kanye saying stupid stuff or Jim Morrison who ends up, like I said, killing himself or whatever. But it seems like the genius that creates the great music kind of
It's always got some madness in
ends
there.
up has some madness in there. A little bit of madness in there. Some
yeah.
you know, drugs and alcohol and abuse and all this shit just builds up and then it just I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's something they can't maintain long term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it all just comes crashing.
Gosh, dude. And it
That's deep because I mean that goes back to BB King and,
yeah,
and
exactly.
beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
but then you look at like Led Zeppelin. It's like
Sam Cooke.
those guys maintain. How did Led Zeppelin? Like 3 of them are still alive,
Yeah.
and they're still making music.
yeah.
Jimmy Page still goes and performs with
How
the
is
Black
Jimmy
Crowes.
Page
Or,
still alive? I mean,
oh,
I know.
well, let's talk about John Paul Jones.
I know.
He just had a band with freaking Dave Grohl and Josh
Paul.
Homme.
Yeah.
John Paul Jones.
Or Robert Plant. Still go. All 3 of them. How the fuck?
Every time I talk about John Paul Jones, I have a new respect for him.
I know. How. How do they do it?
Right.
How do they maintain that lifestyle
Yeah.
and that madness? Because
Right.
they all, they're all crazy as shit.
Oh,
yeah.
They're all batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still maintaining that that level of genius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like Dave
It's
Grohl's
insane.
having the most fun.
Dave
And all of
Grohl
it.
is.
I'm so scared.
And see,
I'm so
I
scared.
never
too.
used to. I like Nirvana, but after that, I really didn't like Dave Grohl. And then last, like, I don't know, 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, something. Dave's really cool.
He's a
I
cool.
have
He's fucking rock and
so
roll,
much
man.
respect for him. Yes,
Dave Grohl is rock and roll, man.
But I
rock and roll,
like
yeah.
Always said
Like
that
the-
if it's a draft, I'm building a band.
that early Foo Fighter stuff was just like,
Oh, you didn't like it?
Oh, no,
I love
first
the
album.
album.
not
Everett.
Nirvana to Foo Fighters. No,
I love the first
Visiting
album.
is pretty.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. I
love the
didn't hate
first
it.
album to the newest album. I
love
love
all
it
of them, all of them,
all
yeah.
Foo Fighters, man.
Foo Fighters is so good, man. Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, I know.
Rest in
He's a
peace,
beast
man.
on drums, definitely.
Yeah, he was good.
But yeah, Dave
I'm not
Grohl.
knocking
So
anyone
actually,
in
here,
the
all right, I
band,
got you.
just saying.
I got a way to earn your respect for the first Foo Fighters album. Did you know that Dave Grohl actually wrote all of the instruments
Yes.
and performed all of them for the studio album.
Yes.
He performed
everything in the album.
guitar, singing,
think
drums,
I
and
did.
bass.
I think I
Every
did.
bit of that, he performed
That's
it all,
crazy.
and then he just dubbed it over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He did all of it.
Like I said, I got respect for him.
Oh, so good.
Ah,
I
don't
know
Just-
you
yeah.
anything. So good.
I don't know.
man.
It was just something going from Nirvana to that. Just,
Yeah, that's understandable, man.
just
but that,
I don't know.
and
For
that was
me-
another great thing for that era was like, that's just such a strange transition because you
It was a
transition from
weird era.
grunge to that post grunge, but also post grunge was so tiny. And then you have like Red Hot Chili Peppers evolving in that era. You have the
Right.
Black Album, which was blowing up in that era.
Post grunge.
Yeah, you still had metal.
Emo.
You still had hair in there too.
Yeah, you did. You
did.
had like
Yeah.
I mean, Van Halen was like kind of doing stuff with Sammy Hagar then.
Yeah.
But like, it was so crazy, man.
It's like hair metal was really dying out by that
it was
time.
dying out. Yeah, like grunge is really where hair metal started to die.
Yeah, and then by post grunge, I feel like it was already kind of.
Which is weird because you listen to and I'll always say this. Facelift is my favorite album by Alice in Chains.
I like that it's your favorite too.
Facelift is my favorite. It's their first album. It's so fucking good.
It
And
deserves it.
And it's almost hair metal.
Yeah,
It's literally hair metal
Yeah.
with Lane Staley singing.
I gotta go with Dirt. Dirt was what got me into Alice in Chains.
I get it,
I
man. I
grew up
get
in
it.
that time though. You know, like I grew up in like Dirt, when Dirt was big. That's when Alice in Chains was popular.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in any of those times.
Yeah.
I was 99. Lane Staley
Yeah.
was dead by then.
I definitely grew up in them. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
like,
like I was young listening to
Chains.
like Alice in Chains and like the Rooster and like all that shit.
You know,
like them
you know,
bones.
something
God.
I've been thinking about lately. and
Them bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
so good. Something I've been thinking about lately is in The Office when Andy says, "I wish we could know we were in the good times before we left them" or something. And it's like, that should be a song. So I think about that same like quote, but I'm like, when you refer to when I was growing up, we're fucking growing up now. We're still growing up.
Yeah.
You're still growing up.
Yes.
You're 50 years old. You're
Yeah.
still growing up. Like you never stop.
No.
It's like we're referring to whenever I was growing up. That's now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy that now. Enjoy that right now.
Yeah.
Because there's so much growing you can do at all times. Enjoy it right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I've been thinking about that a little bit too.
You've got a healthy body. You can walk outside. You can drive your
You
ar.
can do whatever the fuck you
And not to
wanna
mention
do.
the weather's getting great, so we can do so much. Like it just gets better.
The window's open.
The window's open, man.
Open, dude.
The window's open.
Literally, the window is open.
The window's open. I love that. Cheers. Cheers to the window being
Cheers to
open.
the window being open.
Yes.
I like that, man. I really do.
Because we're not done growing up. We're always until we die. We'll be growing up.
I've told my girls that forever. It's like I've said them so many times. We talk about stuff. It's like we grew up together.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Huh.
That's the same.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I tell my students. I'm like, we're talking about y'all are learning so much, and y'all are doing so much. Y'all are not the only ones. I'm growing so much with you. Every tournament we go to, every practice, every time we talk to each other outside, every time you text me outside, every workout, every single thing that y'all do and text me and say, I'm growing with you guys.
Yeah.
Not only am I learning to teach the technique better, but also just like be more influential in you guys' lives. It's so crazy to think about. We're always growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when people say when I was growing up, I mean, when did it stop?
Right.
What's the cutoff?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. And that's
Right.
something I was saying. Oh shit! I was talking about my memory being better, but no. Shit, something I said outside. Oh fuck.
When you was growing up.
Yeah, I lost it. It'll come back to me in a second.
Okay.
It was there like 2 seconds ago, but
It's
like
it happens.
life is so. Okay, it was like losing another day. Like we're growing up. Why would I waste that day on being hungover on a Sunday?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Why would I waste
Yeah.
that day?
Yeah. Right.
And like, sure, I'll be a little hungover, but that doesn't mean I need to lay around and sulk and be, I feel terrible and all this. I gotta do stuff. I gotta go out and grow more. I need to grow up more.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the older you get, those hangovers carry over into Mondays and Tuesdays. For me, at least.
Yeah, I've had only 1-2 day hangover. I don't remember when it was. It wasn't like I didn't even drink that much.
Like, you won't be hungover, but like you'll still be drained and
No,
like,
I've had
kind
two
of
of them. I've had
dehydrated
two
the
of them.
next day. Like, it kind of lingers for a couple of days.
I had one after we drank here one night real heavy, and then I had one in Austria. I had a 2-day hangover, but that's because I didn't have liquid IV. We're not a sponsor, by the way.
Liquid IV.
Not a sponsor.
I'm rarely hungover.
I had one on the way here. I had
Really?
Liquid IV on the way here.
Rarely hungover. I was hungover one or two of the liquor nights that you and me and Gabby had.
Yeah, he points at me.
And
I'm kind of proud of that.
honestly, that's like
It was the gin night. I remember.
Okay,
it was
gin
awful.
night.
It was awful for me too.
Okay.
It sucked. It sucked. So worth it. So worth it.
I remember it.
Man,
It was so fun.
it sucked.
But yeah,
it sucked.
And I
What was
still
it? Bombay 94
Bombay
or something.
Sapphire.
No, it wasn't Bombay Sapphire. No, we talked about that.
Yes, we did.
Stevie Nicks.
I played you that song.
Yeah, Bombay Sapphire by Stevie Nicks.
and Macy Gray. Called Bombay Sapphire.
Before
They must have been into it.
before I had this before I had this podcast, I told Dad, I was like, we hadn't had a music podcast in a while, and I'm so excited for Robert to be on because I know that's all it's gonna be, and we deserve this.
Yeah, it's
We
been
deserve
fun.
this.
It's been fun.
It's cool.
It's so good, man.
Okay, so yeah, you said you never really got into heavy metal, right?
Yeah, I got into it.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
like the progressive side of it, but like, what about the more like modern side? Did you have
As far as like the screaming is really
Yeah.
what he's referring to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't really
the screen,
explain
like,
it very well.
Like Godsmack, love them.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
like hard rock.
Like Limp Bizkit, which is more new metal,
Yeah.
but still
Okay.
pretty
I mean,
heavy.
They're still,
Heavy, yeah.
Pantera that I like, and
Pantera, yeah.
Pantera's
Yeah.
actually. I'm surprised. I always
just-
talked about it, but I didn't realize you liked Pantera like that.
yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I'm listening.
But it's just
That's-
once,
yeah, it's
once
pretty
you
hard
get
band.
to the screamo for me, it's
out, yeah.
I'm-
But I feel like Phil Anselmo is kind of
Like
close
Phil,
to
yeah,
if
Phil
that.
you're-
Anselmo's.
if there's a song going on and it's just I'm okay with it.
That's pretty good.
You know,
do that
Hang
again.
on,
I like
we're
that.
actually about to start some shit.
Yeah, do that again. That was pretty solid.
beyond
Dude. Yeah. I'll hop on the guitar right now. We'll do this.
Get the double bass.
Nah, I wasn't as good as that. I didn't hold a torch to that, man.
Oh man, yeah. I think.
Oh god. Yeah, it was so good. Oh man, I immediately just think of like Gojira.
Oh, to Gojira is so good, man.
What's his name? Marcus Duplantier.
Yes, Margaret
man.
Duplantier, good drummer, man.
Insane drummer.
Top 20 probably is safe.
I'm not aware.
That's bold. That's bold.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
up
fair.
there. He's up there. He's known as a top 5 metal drummer. I think top 10
Wow.
metal
I
drummer.
think my favorite drummer of all time is Chris Adler from Lamb of God.
Mine is Brian Daler. What Mastodon?
I know it
probably.
is. I know.
Yeah. It used to be Chris Bonham. Fucking
John Bonham.
John Bonham. I don't know why I say Chris. John Bonham. Yeah, it used to be John Bonham because that just that's fucking John
That's so
Bonham,
hard,
dude.
yeah.
It was so like that's my second favorite. Now it's Brian Daler from Mastodon.
My favorite drummer of all time is Chris Adler.
For me, for metal, would be Portnoy.
Oh, that's
What
a bad
about in
motherfucker,
general?
too.
Just your favorite drummer?
Wait, what?
What about in general? No, not even metal. Just
Oh.
overall. It makes it harder for sure.
I know. I don't know.
Okay, what about not metal?
It would be a toss up between Neil Peart and Portnoy.
I like that.
The technical.
The prog rock,
The
man. The
prog
prog metal.
rock,
I
yeah.
love it, man.
But then you go back to the 70s prog. Carl Palmer,
Who was that with?
Emerson Lake and Palmer,
Oh, Emerson Lake and Palmer, yeah. Naturally, yeah. Of
and
course.
Barrymore Barlow from Jethro Tull. I mean, just out of, and then Bosio from Zappa, and
Oh,
he played with
man.
everybody. But
I never could get into Frank Zappa, man.
oh man,
I just
I
can't.
love Zappa.
And it's weird that I can get into Primus, but I can't get into Frank Zappa.
I think the difference is that Zappa is prog rock. And
What have you tried to get into of Zappa? This is where it gets.
I honestly don't remember.
The Witch?
I would go back and
There's a ship arriving too late.
yeah, there's.
Save the drowning
It's
witch.
been a while since I've listened to him, but like,
That album is so good.
but it's shit like that,
weird,
dude.
man.
I just can't.
But you can't say like it's any more or less goofy than Primus.
That's what I'm
No.
saying.
Primus is ridiculous.
I don't know
man.
how it connects. I think it's just how funky and the groove of Primus. That
You need to listen to King Crimson.
yeah, I know y'all both.
That's one
y'all
you
both
need to
been
listen
saying
to.
it. Yeah,
And I
not only have listened to like 1 or 2 songs by King Crimson.
the album is it?
I wonder what
What's
that
the
is.
album with the tongue on it? Is it Red? Is that the name of the album? With the dude with the face and the tongue, 21st century.
I know the
that's
album you're talking about.
album. I think it's just called King Crimson, isn't it?
Okay, maybe.
I think it is. It is.
So that's a great album.
Yeah.
But the album I'm gonna recommend, and you know what? Let's start doing this again.
Oh, I miss it.
Can we talk about albums we're gonna recommend to the viewers? I'm gonna recommend Lark's Tongues and Aspen.
Oh gosh, yes.
That one right there.
There it is.
That
Boom.
album right there.
Yes.
It is so good, man. And
It
like
really is.
you when you're like it's like very easy to listen to, kind of like Pink Floyd is in a way. Like you listen to the song "Easy Money" off that album, and it's so like it draws you in, man.
Yes.
Like it really pulls you into like you listen to
It's
all like the bells and whistles that the drummers
it's
doing.
a story.
It's so much like Nick Mason from Pink Floyd. It's so much like that, man. And like that's an album I think you would really enjoy, and I think that would pull you into. King Crimson.
Okay.
I think you should definitely listen to that if you're like in that mood.
Yeah.
Listen to that album. It's so good, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out because
They're
progressive
fantastic.
rock and I kind of like more progressive metal, but I do like and appreciate progressive rock.
Right.
So
So if you could recommend an album, what would it be?
since we're on the progressive side of things, I'm gonna go "Crack the Sky" by Mastodon.
Oh, good.
And
Yes.
if you want to listen to like good progressive, I mean, one of the greatest, I think he's a top 10 drummer of all time, Brian Daylor.
Yeah.
Listen to "Ghost of Corellia" by Mastodon, and like the tempo changes, and like he's also a vocalist too, and like playing this lead the whole time, and you're nodding your head to the bass drum, and like the song is playing to the damn snare drum, and it's like he's keeping up with the rhythm at the same time.
You got to go on YouTube and watch the Minor Cymbals, Ghost of Corellia. If we're gonna be real specific,
Yeah, well, for sure.
all the
that's-
videos that they do for Minor Cymbals is like it's so addicting.
And
I've watched them like 20 times.
I'll show
each.
you this when we get done, Robert. I think you would really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you would.
Yeah, you would really appreciate just like the pure technique and how good a drummer can be.
So if you could recommend like any album right now, and it could be just like whatever you're listening to right now, just something you think people should just listen to. That's fine.
Actually, side note, sorry. Phil Collins,
Yes.
drummer. Not Phil Collins as to what do you think of him? What do you think of him as
I think of him as
Coming in there. tonight. Yeah, that.
I think Mike Tyson in The Hangover. It's a great scene.
Have you ever listened to Genesis from the early 70s? When Peter Gabriel was with them.
Yeah, I've listened to a little bit of that. It's been so long.
And Steve Hackett.
I never did get into them, though.
Do that again?
Okay.
One more
But
time?
that sounds right up your alley.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
so,
progressive.
So still, back to the drummers. Phil's still, he was a very impressive drummer in the day.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I know people put him up
Yeah.
on that list, but it's never connected.
maybe we
with
haven't
me.
listened
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I've listened to a little bit of him.
He
I need to go
he
back.
deserves to be on the list. Yeah,
Okay.
he really does.
Okay, because
Just want to shout out to my
And-
boy Phil.
Oh, okay. So coming from someone I really value your opinion when it comes to music, so that means I just have to listen more.
Yeah.
I just haven't listened enough, and that's where I'm missing
and I
out.
listen to him too. I've always kind of pushed back on Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I never thought he was.
Listen to early Genesis. Listen to
Okay.
Nursery Crime. Or
Nursery Crime.
or-
I like that. I like
yeah.
the name of that album.
or
Yeah.
Foxtrot. Yeah, those are, again,
Yeah.
73,
Phil-
74.
The Phil
somewhere around
Collins that I know is just the like kind of poppier side of
Yeah.
Phil Collins.
So something just clicked for me. I think I know why. We opened the podcast up talking about your memory.
Mhm.
Well, it's because you use all your brain power on every musical reference ever. All the brain power is just used up.
there. Yeah,
Like
that's
just
that's,
in every
that's-
album name, like you
Yeah.
should listen to Nursery Crime, and like, it's just like immediately comes out. Like
For sure.
there's no pause in the. I
No.
don't have to think about music. It's just there.
That's
I
right.
love that, man. I love it so much.
yeah,
And that's where all the brain power goes.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Brian Daylor just. You would really. I know you've listened to a little bit of Mastodon, but I think that you would really appreciate. Just listen to it. Just listen to them and just listen to the drums. Like that's what's
I
really
will
sucked me
listen
in
to
for
it.
Mastodon.
Yeah.
And really, and just like you were talking about Trivium, they have those like classic notes of like those hints of like old school
Yes,
metal.
yeah.
Like you listen
Trivium's
to like
a
Iron
good-
Maiden,
great
or I'm
metal
talking about Mastodon too. Though
Oh, yeah.
they have
Oh.
those hints of old school metal and like
I remember
their
listening to
original
Mastodon,
stuff. Yeah,
Their first couple albums, yeah, because a lot of people used to compare them to Metallica.
yeah. What's the Emperor of Sand?
Yes.
That's probably my favorite album by them, and I love Once More Around the Sun.
Once More Around the Sun's my favorite.
And I don't know. I used to think that was my favorite, but I really think the Emperor of Sand is my favorite.
I get it.
That is such a progressive.
That's what got
album.
me into
It's their most progressive album.
Yeah, that and Huston Grim.
Yeah.
The past two have been super progressive.
And so check out. I think you would really enjoy Emperor of Sand the most. I think.
I'll check it out.
But
It's
Crack the
so
Sky is very
good.
progressive too.
It is, for
really
sure.
is. This is very, very progressive.
Everything they've got, they're progressive metal.
Yeah.
But, so an album you could recommend to the viewers.
For any time,
Just whatever. And really,
What you been listening to? That you
That's
really
normally how we base this off of. Is like whatever we've been listening to lately.
Yeah.
I think people should listen to.
let's see. Oh, it's so all over the place.
I know you were talking about that Sublime album.
Yeah.
That's a good album too.
Oh,
I just say I used to
yes.
love that back in the day.
I listen. Yeah, it's
Back in the day.
This,
So there you go
their
again.
Second album, the one with
It is today, but
with two
back
joints
in the
on
day.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. I remember when it came out. I was listening to that last night, smoking a cigar, just chilling.
Right.
It's like, I forgot how good this album is.
Yeah, he sent me a
It's
text
a good
last night.
album.
He sent me a text last night.
It is
goes,
good.
It is a good album.
Just got home, man.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
I was like,
Smoking?
man, I know that's nice. I said, it sounds great.
They got. That's what I was telling him on the way over here. It's like they got a little punk to them too that I didn't realize that until just listening to them now that they actually have. It's like they were kind of like punk.
Yeah, they were a little
Reggae,
bit. They had
punk.
like a small bit of punk to
Yeah.
it. And it's
Yeah.
so weird to think
Ska.
about. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
they
just-
did. They
just
did.
Very eclectic.
Right. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't look at me.
Adjective. That's the word. I like that adjective. Eclectic. Yeah, it's like, I
was
just
trying to
thought
think of it
RuneScape.
too. I
I
was
just
like,
immediately thought RuneScape. Eclectic
The
influence.
word. Yeah.
Gosh, I can't recommend an album though. Holy cow!
No, I think that
It
was
would take
a good one.
hours.
That's understandable. It'll take hours. Look, guys, it's been an amazing podcast.
Yes,
I
it has.
love this so much.
This
man.
was
I
fun.
do too.
This
It's-
is I
it's
legit
always fun.
look forward to this every week.
Every week.
having a podcast.
Yeah.
Just sitting here and just shooting the shit, man.
It's fun.
Getting
Yeah.
different insights.
Yeah, we get
different
to I get
perspectives.
I get to have a chance to have a discussion with you, like a conversation with you. I've heard so much about you, you know. It's like it's cool to have a friend on, like you've heard so much about some of my friends, and you get to
Right.
finally put a face to a name and build a relationship with
so
that person.
fun,
Is
man.
always a good time, man.
Well, it's been a pleasure being here. I'd
cheers,
love
guys.
to come back again
Dude,
sometime.
we would love to have you on again.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. It's been a good time.
Thank you.
Before we end it, I've actually had some like floor issues. I don't know you've heard it on past podcasts about my pipes busting and me having to replace my whole first level of my house. But Clemson Construction Group really did an amazing job replacing everything. So if you ever need anything as far as construction goes with your home, you can contact me or Bryant will set you up. I'm getting choked up because it was so good.
And I will say, like, his floor looks better than it did before. Like, I hate to say it worked out, but it kind of worked out for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
The floor
And-
looks amazing, dude. It
And
looks so good.
Ben has been amazing the whole time.
And there's not a squeaky part in the floor anymore.
Yeah,
That's
right?
kinda cool. That's kinda
Yeah,
nice.
I used to always hate that little spot. That spot's gone now, but they really did an amazing job. I told him I'd give him a shout out because
They deserve it.
he
yeah,
worked
for sure. That
hard
was
and
awesome.
he knocked it out. But and a really good guy who's going to give you a fair price. So
But hey, once again, guys, cheers. Thank you, Robert, for coming on
Cheers.
here, man.
hit that like and subscribe
It means a
button.
lot, it means
Thank
a lot
you.
to have you on here.
Yes, it really does.
It's my pleasure.
It's been amazing, man.
Yeah, we'll see
Been
you guys.
fun.
Love you guys.